Now it's case number 77 on the calendar in the matter of Paget versus Plaster. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Ms. Paget, how long were you and Mr. Plaster involved in a relationship?
About 8 years.
And for what period of those 8 years did you live together?
We lived together most of them, but because of our work, we traveled a lot. So a lot of times I was in New York, but we shared the house in Phoenix.
Okay. When was the house in Phoenix purchased?
1997.
And you were living together at the time?
Yes.
Did you move into the house together?
Yes.
House was in your name?
Yes.
And both of you were working?
Yes.
So finances were not an issue when you lived together?
No.
All right. This is your case, Ms. Paget. After this on-again, off-again relationship, it was on for 8 years and then it was off for a while. And then the two of you, according to what I read, tried to rekindle the relationship, and you had sold the house.
Yes.
And Mr. Plaster took an apartment. According to you, you didn't want to be bothered with paying half of the rent monthly, so that you prepaid the entire year of 14 months lease to Mr. Plaster so that you didn't have to be bothered.
Exactly.
And shortly after you gave him this check, Mr. Plaster advised you that he had somebody else and he wanted you out.
Yes.
So you want that money back.
Correct.
Mr. Plaster says that that money was not for half the rent. Mr. Plaster says that the two of you had an agreement during the time that you moved into this house together, that he contributed to the house, including the mortgage payment while he was living there, something that you agree with, and that you had an agreement that when the house was sold, you would split whatever increased equity there was during the time that you were living together, since he was, in fact, reducing the mortgage with his mortgage payment and paying half the bills on the house, so that what you were really doing when you gave him this check was keeping your promise to give him some of the equity in the house. That's your defense.
Yes.
And you have a counterclaim because you say that when she did move out, she did some vandalizing in the house and took some property that was actually yours. You want that property back and you want some compensation for the vandalism. In 1997, Ms. Paget, when you purchased the house, what did you purchase the house for? You remember the purchase?
$108,000.
And what did you sell it for?
I sold it for $236,000.
When did you sell it?
October 2005.
And when did you give Mr. Plaster this check for the rent?
Well, actually, it was bank transfers from my bank account into his bank account. When we decided to rent this apartment, and
just tell me, what date did you give him the check?
I deposited money on 10/11
05
for $6,000, and then on 10/24 for another $1,000.
Also in October of 2005. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, I assume that when you lived together for these 8 years, you had some sort of a discussion about what was going to happen with the equity in the house.
Absolutely.
And what was the discussion?
Exactly right, as you said. However, the important part of that story that was left out was that he moved out of the house in January 2005. Had he stayed with me till October 2005, I probably would have honored that agreement. But at the time when he moved out to move in with a friend of his, I asked him, because he was already living in another bedroom, and I had asked him to please stay on as a roommate, help me sell the house. I didn't have a job at the time. You know, you're putting me in dire straits if you move out. Stay with me. Let's get the house sold. Your daughter's getting married. We can take care of this. I said, if you leave, you're not getting nothing, because you're leaving me in dire straits and I have to maintain the residence for 10 months until I sold it by myself with no job. I had to get roommates to help me, you know, organize.
Well, I understand your problem, Ms. Paget. However, you cannot unilaterally change a contract, which is what you told me you had. You had a contract with Mr. Plaster that seems perfectly reasonable to me, that since the two of you had a financial arrangement where each of you was contributing to this household and reducing the mortgage, you were living together as a family, it is perfectly reasonable to have had the contract that you acknowledged that you had, that when and if the house was sold, you would give him, because he had been paying into the house, a portion of the profit from the house.
Yes.
Perfectly reasonable.
Yes.
Now, the fact that he decided to move out and you said to him, if you move out, I'm not going to honor that contract, doesn't mean that that happens. Unless he says, well, fine, I'm moving out anyway, and I agree that you don't have to honor the contract. But that's not what happened.
That is what happened.
No. No, that's not what you told me.
No, that
you
is what
told me.
happened.
Now, listen to me. What you told me was, you said to him, if you move out,
right,
I'm not going to honor our agreement.
And he agreed.
You said he moved out anyway.
Right.
Well, that's not agreeing with you, madam. He just left. That's not saying I agree that you don't have to honor the contract. He just says, I'm leaving anyway. So while he does not have a counterclaim for that, I am finding that the money that you gave him was for the contract that you had with him for the 8 years that you lived together in this house that you sold, and that you sold for a substantial profit. You more than doubled your money. He paid down the mortgage, and he should be entitled to a portion of that. So, has he sued you on the contract that you had to give him half the profits of the house?
No.
Well, he should.
Because it was agreed that we didn't.
No. Listen to me. I don't believe that at all. And I'm telling you that if he doesn't sue you for half the profits on the house, consider yourself really lucky that I'm speaking. Consider yourself, Miss Paget, really lucky. Because if he sued you in a court where I was sitting, that had a much higher jurisdiction than the $5,000 I have, I would find that you had a contract with him that he fulfilled by contributing to the house for the 8 years that you lived together, and that you cannot unilaterally breach that contract because you didn't want him to leave and leave you in the lurch for 10 months. I might do something equitable, like cutting 10 months' worth of the mortgage payments out and carving that out of his share of the profits. But I'm telling you right now, for the $6,000 that you gave him, you got away with a bargain. I wouldn't complain. Now I'm going to hear your counterclaim. Go ahead.
This is a case of a woman scorn.
Listen, don't tell me what it's about, sir. Don't tell me what a case is about, sir. I'm asking you whether you have a legitimate counterclaim that you want me to hear, or whether you just want to forget it.
Well, once I let her know that I was seeing someone else, she came to get her things, and I gave her a few days in the apartment to get her stuff out. And when I returned, I've got photographs of the vandalism.
I'd like to see the photographs, Bert, please.
And I've got lots of notes that were left and taped on the walls, just crazy things all over the place. Doors were written on, mirrors were written on, photographs stapled to the walls, photographs torn up, my guitars and other property just thrown everywhere. All of my things that were in boxes were dumped in bathtubs and in closet floors, along with half-eaten hamburgers and just
She was
trash.
very angry.
She was very angry.
How much did it cost you to clean it up?
It was very difficult to clean it up.
My question was, I saw the picture, sir. How much did it cost you to clean up the apartment?
Nothing, just my own time.
So it took your time. Show these photographs to the plaintiff, please. Mr. Plaster, just for my own information, sir, why did you allow Miss Paget to move her things into the apartment if you were seeing someone else?
I started seeing someone else after her things were in the apartment.
Not before?
Correct. We moved into the apartment, but she moved to New Jersey, so she only stayed a few days in the apartment at all.
Well, she was sort of hoping that things would work out between you, I assume, which is why she moved her things into the apartment. She didn't move into the apartment for storage purposes. Why'd you trash the apartment?
Because he just didn't face me. And I just would like to say something about the mortgage. He did not contribute to the mortgage every month.
Miss Paget,
He didn't.
I got the information from the two of you before I started to hear your case. And that was that the two of you lived together peacefully for 8 years. You seem like an intelligent woman. You both worked. According to the both of you, each of you contributed to the running of the household, and that money was never an issue. And being an intelligent woman, myself, I have to assume that if he wasn't paying his fair share of the house, you wouldn't have kept him around for 8 years. What I'm telling you is the law says just because you say the agreement is over doesn't make it over.
But he moved out.
I don't care whether he moved out. Miss Paget, I'm going to try one more time, and then I'm not going to hear any more from you. Let us say he wasn't ready to move out of the house, but you were ready to sell it. Do you think you could have sold the house without his permission?
Absolutely.
Of course, because the house is in your name.
Correct.
He's not a slave. He can move if he wants to. That doesn't mean that when you sell the house, he's not entitled to, up until the time he moved out, a portion of the increase in the value of the house, because that was your agreement. Now, you have no right to do what you did here, and he has to be compensated for that, even his time.
I paid for the security deposit on the apartment and all the first month's rent.
No, just a second. In addition to the $6,000 that you gave him, you wrote a check right out to the landlord?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
How much?
The monthly rent was $1,100 and something a month.
So it was at least $1,100.
So it was at least $1,100
Okay,
plus
now
security
is that,
deposit was.
Shh. Is that in addition to the $6,000?
Yes.
Well, then, sir, you can use that $1,100, but you're going to get back to clean up the apartment. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Thank you very much. It's over. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Moving and I worked out there. And we made about a week. He doesn't want to stay with him. He was.
Yeah. How did you split the rent?
Well, we first on the agreement was just me and Adam. And then when he said she was moving in, I even asked her. I said, well, we need to split it through. Well, I'm working at Myers right now.
She did not ask me that.
Don't speak.
She said.
Just a minute. Just ask me. You split it 2 ways? Mm-hmm. Okay. She has a counterclaim that I'll get to in a minute. Okay. It is your claim that Miss Klein damaged your car while backing out of the driveway.
Yep.
And you want her to pay for the damage to your car.
Yes,
That's
I
what
do.
your lawsuit is about, $1,700. Miss Klein says you shouldn't have blocked her car. And that was your habit. So she nicked it a little bit, and she's sorry, right? You can't hit her car.
You're right, but I went up there and asked her 3 times to move her car. She
What
didn't
date
come-
was that?
I do believe it was the 16th of April.
Of what?
Of March.
So right before you all went your own way.
Yep.
Why didn't you move the car?
She did not ask me to move the car. Adam asked me if I would clean the room while he's at work, so I was in the room cleaning with the music on. And she never entered the room and asked me to move my car.
And I knocked on the door.
No, she did
every
not.
time and said, I need to go take kids to school. I need you to move your car. She didn't come out of the room.
Who were you going to take to school?
I have a daycare, so I had to take the kids to school.
So she didn't move the car, so you hit it.
Yep, well, I tried backing out myself, and then I hit it, and then I went upstairs, and I told her about it, and I said, I gotta go take kids to school, so when I come back, I'll give you my insurance. I come back, and she's gone. So then I go back to work. About 20 minutes later, I come back to see if she's there, and the police are there. So she left and came back, and then I gave her all my insurance and all that stuff.
So what happened with the insurance?
I called my dad and asked him. He called the insurance agency, and they said because it was on private property that they will not do anything.
Well, that's not true. That's baloney. Let me see a letter from the insurance company.
I didn't get one, Your Honor.
Well, you should have one, my dear. You can't rely on your dad. Shouldn't have blocked her.
The car was not blocked.
Well, clearly, it was more difficult to get out.
That's not
Yeah,
true. That's not right.
Well, if she hit your car, she of necessity had to hit your car
She
with
did
her
it on
car.
purpose.
Listen to me! When my mouth starts to move, yours doesn't.
Okay.
Nobody with half a brain uses their own car, which might very well be damaged if she hit her car
I have
with
pictures
your
of
car.
my car.
That's just stupid, and she's not stupid. The only thing she was stupid about is letting you live in this apartment for all those months rent-free and splitting the rent because you didn't have a job that paid you enough. You didn't have a job that paid you enough to pay rent, live at home. And if your boyfriend wanted to sleep with you, then he should have paid 2/3 and she paid 1/3. You got it?
Got it.
She doesn't have to pay for you the pleasure that you had to spending the night with her.
She had people spend the night also, Your Honor. It
We're
wasn't
not
just me
talking
over.
about spending the night. We're talking about...
She would have boys come and stay for months at a time.
Listen to me. We're not talking about spending the night. We're talking about living there. So, what you have to do is you have to call her insurance company. She's already acknowledged she hit your car. She had no right to hit your car, and our insurance company will pay for it. Easy. Now, let's get to your counterclaim. Unpaid rent. You had no agreement with her to pay rent. Forget the rent, okay? Bills. You should have had an agreement. You didn't have an agreement. Damage to and return of value of property. Now I'll hear that. Go.
I have some letters from some witnesses on some of these
I don't
things.
take letters from... listen to me. I don't take letters from witnesses. That's hearsay.
Okay. What she did couple times, she's hid my keys. So he had to take me to work one morning because my keys just came up missing, even though I put them on the table every day. When they moved out, I cleaned my whole house top to bottom, and I couldn't find them. Moved all my furniture, they're gone. And my contact case, one morning I woke up and I stuck my contact in my eye. I had alcohol in my contact case. So I had to go and order new contacts because my contacts were ruined because they were soaking alcohol. I got the police report on that. And then also, the day that they moved out, I went to the bank, came back, took my class ring and my ring off, put it on a little jewelry box that I have in the closet, and I come back about 2 or 3 hours later and it's gone. Them two are the only ones in the house. And I asked her, she didn't know what I was talking about. Well, my rings were there when I left. I come back and they're gone.
And how many people were in the house when you were gone?
When I left, it was just her and Adam.
Well, how do you know that there weren't other
Because
people?
my
I'm
boyfriend-
speaking. How do you know that there weren't other people in the house moving them out?
Because my boyfriend was there for
So your
about
boyfriend,
half an
just a
hour.
second. So your boyfriend was there.
For just a few minutes after I left.
So your boyfriend was there.
Yeah.
Who was with your boyfriend?
Nobody.
So then, now we know of 3 people that were in the house when you weren't there, right?
Right.
But your boyfriend was there, maybe with other people. Never works out when 2 people live together and there are boyfriends and girlfriends. You damaged her car. You have to take responsibility for that. You have full insurance on your car, and you've given her your insurance? Fine. You have to use that.
Okay.
She has acknowledged responsibility. Hitting your car, it was a stationary vehicle. There's no question of fault. Her insurance company has to pay for it. And if they don't, and you have proof that for some reason they decline coverage, well, you can come back. But before you come to court just to get even a little bit, what you have to do is you have to go through the procedure so that you don't bother the judge. Do you understand? Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Until New Year's when she...
On the matter of Libera versus Warren. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated, sirs. Have a seat.
Mr. Libera, the defendant is your former girlfriend.
That's right, Your
Your
Honor.
complaint alleges that you went on a trip with her. She was supposed to pay for the trip. She did, in fact, pay for most of the trip. She paid for the airfare, correct?
Yes.
She paid for the hotel.
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
But there were certain incidentals. And for some reason, she couldn't use her credit card. She, according to you, asked you if you would pay for those incidentals. You did, with the understanding that she would pay you back. She did not pay you back.
That's right.
And you want the incidentals paid. You want a totally free vacation.
Yes, Your Honor, that's what...
You want a totally free vacation.
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
You must be very entertaining, Mr. Libera. The defendant, on the other hand, says she paid for most of the vacation. Those incidentals were yours, and she never made an agreement to pay you back for those incidentals. She paid for, I don't know, 3/4 of the vacation, quarter is yours, and you weren't that much fun. You didn't say that. I just threw that in to make you feel better. Now, you have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim says that he stole property from your apartment.
Yes.
Items that didn't belong to him. So you're going to tell me about that. All right. When did you take this vacation, Mr. Libera?
We took it July 4th through the 7th, I believe, or the 3rd through the 7th.
And where did you go?
We went to Key West.
How long had you and Miss Warren been together?
Not very long, a month or 2, something like that, Your Honor.
Okay, so tell me how it came about, sir, that Miss Warren was paying for this vacation.
Well, Amy Warren...
No, just listen to me. Put the papers down, and I want you to look at me. Focus on me, Mr. Libera.
All right. Amy, when I first met her, she presented herself as an heiress to this huge, medical conglomerate fortune. She said she had a multi-million-dollar trust fund, and pretty much from the beginning of our relationship, it was like she was going to pamper me, and I felt like I had won the lottery or something. And the trip was her idea. She said that she wanted to take me down there. She was going to pay for the trip, and that's why the trip was to be free. Actually, she said that her dad was going to pay for it, in fact. She booked it in advance. She went through Expedia, paid for the airfare, the hotel.
How much was the airfare?
Over $3,000.
For both of you?
Right, that's right.
And did you stay in a nice hotel?
Yes, we stayed at the Hyatt, Your Honor.
Did you have a nice room?
Absolutely.
How much was the hotel?
The entire trip totaled $22.86.
$22.86 for the hotel?
For the hotel, airfare, it was all included.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Oh, so you mean it was more?
Yes.
You think it was more? That's not helping you particularly,
Well,
Ms. Libera. But if you
no,
want to tell
she's-
me it was
well-
more, if you want to tell me it was more than $22.86, I buy it. Is it more? How much more?
Just the airfare and hotel alone was over $3,000, and I got that information from a man named John from Expedia.
Fine. So you're saying it was $3,000?
Right. I don't think she's lying. I mean, it's just one more lie among many.
I'm going to forget that you said that for a moment because I'm sure you're not going to do that again, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how much did you spend on the incidentals, Mr. Libera?
$716. Well, that was for the hotel. That was for the incidentals at the hotel, and I have a list of other expenses.
Incidentals at the hotel?
Right.
Not the room, but just the incidentals at the hotel.
Right. Meals, jet ski rentals, stuff like that. And then I have a list of other expenses that were incurred during the trip. Once we got there, she claimed that her credit card wouldn't work. So I paid for the expenses when we were out on the town and stuff like that. And once again, she promised that she would pay me this back.
Well, tell me what she said to you.
Well, originally she said that her credit card didn't work and it was a big problem. She's like, what are we going to do? And I told her, I said, I will pay for the stuff while we're here as long as you pay me back. And she said, absolutely. When we get back, I'll get a check from my dad. And so from that point on, you know, we did whatever we wanted to do. And it was always agreed that she would pay me back.
Okay. Is that what happened, Ms. Warren?
No, Your Honor.
Tell me what happened.
I never agreed. He should have paid half the trip. The trip was not over $3,000. It was $22.86. And he did not pay for half the stuff on the strip.
He says that you told him that you would pay back the expenses that were put on the credit card. Did you tell him that?
No, Your Honor.
How did it come about that he used his credit card for the incidentals?
Because that was like part of the mutual decision. He should have paid like half the trip.
Not should have. It's not what I asked you. Did your credit card for some reason not work?
I put it on there for the incidentals. He finished paying it when we checked out.
Tell me how it happened. You're standing at the desk. You're checking out. Tell me exactly, Miss Warren, what happened.
Steven told me that he was going to put it on his credit card, and he didn't have a problem with that. It was his debit card, and it was on my credit card. So they didn't run my credit card, they ran his, rather. Although they had the authorization for mine, but they took it out on his.
Why?
Because I shouldn't have to pay for the incidentals and the entire...
Is that what he told you?
Yes.
That's what he told you?
Yes.
No, I don't believe that, Miss Warren. I mean, I think that you're foolish for taking him on a vacation, quite frankly. But I don't believe for a second that Mr. Libera, who does not appear to be an unintelligent man, knowing that he could very easily fall in my mouth, which is, for some people, the second worst fate, the first being circumcision, why he would come here and lie to me about that and pursue a lawsuit against you. I don't understand that. Especially when he knows it makes him look like a scuzz. You know, some woman taking him away on vacation and, you know, the couple of incidental dinners after he got flown there and he got a hotel, why he would humiliate himself to come here unless he really thought he was right. You wouldn't do that, would you, sir?
Absolutely not, Your Honor.
I didn't think so.
I've got witnesses here, too, that we talked about this after the trip was over. We discussed how much money that she owed me and she was going to pay me back, and she acknowledged, and they were present for it. There was no question that she owed me this money.
Tell me your name.
David Morrow.
How do you know these people?
I'm mutual friends with both of them.
Okay, so tell me what you heard her say to him about the incidentals from this trip.
She was always insistent that she would pay him back.
No, don't tell me what you heard.
I heard her on the phone with him and with her father stating that she would actually get a check for the incidentals and pay them.
Now, you heard him on the phone with her.
Mm-hmm.
If she's talking to him on the telephone,
Yes,
sir, I don't believe that you're listening in on this telephone. I want to hear what you heard her say.
Okay. In her apartment, I heard her tell him that she would get on the phone and get the money as soon as possible to pay him back because he needed the money.
Okay. But you didn't hear her say how much?
No.
Good. And you are?
Freddie Coffey, and I'm a mutual friend of both. I actually met Amy a couple days before I met Steve.
Okay, go ahead.
My girlfriend and I went out to dinner with them, and Amy did actually say that she was going to wire transfer $2,000 into Steve's account to cover the expenses for the incidentals, to cover the overdraft fees that happened on his account because of those expenses, and to also for paint and things like that that we used to when she moved into her apartment to help her out and move into her apartment.
So she was going to wire $2,000 in to cover various things, including incidentals.
Yes, Your Honor.
Stuff that was purchased for the apartment. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Very good. But you didn't hear a specific amount that you said. Put your hand down, sir. I asked you the question. I asked it twice. Got it? You didn't hear her indicate the specific amount of that $2,000 that was allocated towards the incidentals.
No, not allocated towards the incidentals.
Perfect. Sit down. $716, incidentals. Because you're not totally a scuzzy, are you? No. Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He told me he stole everything out of my apartment. Sure enough, he did. Food, trash can, shower curtain, everything was gone. So he admitted to me.
And later today.
So you said some vile things to Miss Atkins. And who kicked you out of the party?
I guess it was the owner of the house.
Did that make you feel better?
Not really.
Steve Libera claims ex-girlfriend Amy Warren owes for a trip to the Florida Keys. Amy is countersuing, claiming Steve stole over $10,000 worth of property from her home.
Now let me hear, Miss Warren, about what you claim he stole from the apartment, and what proof do you have that he stole anything from the apartment?
I have the police report showing that he did steal stuff from my apartment the day.
Let me see.
And
what
then
day?
I have...
What day are we talking about?
July 28th.
Did you share this apartment together?
No.
So he came to your apartment? How did he get into your apartment?
Whenever he took my debit card, which I have those papers as well, and used that, he took a key off my key ring and got into my apartment and stole everything. Then he told me when I dropped him off at the courthouse, because he had to pay his fines for his probation or whatever he's on.
What kind of probation?
DUI,
it's not an answer.
DUI, Your Honor.
Why are you asking me a question, sir?
I didn't ask you a question, Your Honor.
You gave me an and then you said
No,
DUI?
No, I'm sorry. DUI is what I was on probation for. And she's lying about everything. The debit card she gave me to buy gas because I had no money in my account because she was having trouble getting me the money that she owed me. And I actually picked that up from her work.
There is nothing in here, madam, that indicates that he stole anything from your property.
That's the police report they gave me whenever I got the subpoena. That's what they
I'm just
released.
telling you, there's nothing in here that says that he did that, and you don't have a witness that saw him take any property from you.
Right, because whenever I dropped him off at the courthouse, I didn't think I needed a witness. Then he told me he stole everything out of my apartment. Sure enough, he did. Food, trash can, shower curtain, everything was gone. So he admitted to me.
Mr. Libera, did you ever tell Miss Warren that you stole property out of her apartment?
No, I didn't.
Miss Warren, You have to give him $716. That's what you owe him for the incidentals, because I believe that he paid the incidentals and put it on his credit card because yours wasn't working when you went to check out for the incidentals in the hotel. I don't, however, believe, Mr. Libera, that she, each time you used your credit card to pay for a dinner or to pay, I'm speaking,
Yes.
or to pay for something, that she said to you, thank you very much for dinner, I'll pay you back as soon as we get home. I don't believe that happened, Mr. Libera. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Just consider this. You got most of a vacation paid for, and you had a really good time.
There's more to the story here.
Listen to me. Is there more to the story that you want me to hear, sir? Because I've already decided to rule in your favor. So is what you want, Mr. Libera, you want to try to change my mind?
No, I don't, Your Honor. Absolutely not.
Good. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Counterclaim is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He stole my dignity, my love, my honesty, everything I had.
She bragged about to people that she was paying for everything. She was real proud of herself.
He's just trying to get me back for even more.
Don't trust girls.
Oh, life experience. Oh my gosh, I never want to experience it again.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Atkins versus Penhollow. Step forward, please.
21-year-old Shanna Atkins is suing her ex-boyfriend, 22-year-old Andrew Penhollow, for intentionally denting the side of her car. Shanna claims Andrew was angry over their breakup.
Miss Atkins, this young man used to be your boyfriend. I assume he's not your boyfriend anymore. Is that right?
That's right.
You had an argument and claimed that after the argument he was a little intoxicated and damaged your car. You want him to pay for the car's repairs. Mr. Penhollow says that he was in fact angry at you at some point, but there was no way that he damaged your car. When was the vandalism to your car noticed by you?
It was May 5th. It was Cinco de Mayo. And it was right after I came outside. He was outside, wouldn't leave until I came to talk to him.
Okay, where did this happen?
At a friend's house in Everett, Washington.
Were you still dating on May 5th?
No, this was like a month after we had broken up.
Now, I gather from your complaint that you were at the friend's house for a party.
Yes.
He was not invited.
No.
So,
That's not true.
how many people were at the party?
Roughly 20 to 30.
And what time did you arrive there?
About 9:30.
In the evening?
Yes.
What kind of car do you have?
2006 Scion TC.
Where did you park it?
It was on the street right outside of his house. He doesn't have a driveway.
But it was parked on the street. How far from the house?
Right in front of it.
Did the car have any damage when you parked it?
No. Brand new. I just had gotten it a couple months earlier.
Okay. Now, at 9:30 when you got to the party, Mr. Penhollow was not there.
Correct.
When did you arrive, sir?
It was a little after 2 in the morning.
And where had you been just prior to that?
I was at a bar a little south of where she was.
What time did you get to the bar?
I was at the bar at like 10 o'clock.
So from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. you were drinking?
Yes.
Now, I'd like you to tell me, Mr. Penhollow, how it came about that at 2 o'clock in the morning you went over to the party, because that you acknowledge in your answer, that you went over to the party.
Yes, I definitely went over to the party.
How did you get there, sir? What prompted you to go over there? And I'd like you to look at me,
Okay.
not at the sky. The sky will not give you any answers, sir.
All right. What happened was I found out from a mutual friend of ours, who is no longer a mutual friend, but that she had cheated on me when we were together.
That's...
And
Shh. And you found that out on May 5th?
yes.
That night while you were drinking?
Yes.
At the bar?
Yes.
Okay, so somebody told you that?
Yes.
Okay, go
and
ahead.
Of course, that got me angered. Tried to call her.
What'd you try to call her for? You weren't together, according to you, for a couple of weeks, according to her, for a month.
We're still friends, though. We were talking about almost every day. And so I found out where the party was, because I was invited earlier that night, until I had said something earlier when we talked to make her mad.
Well, what did you say?
I don't know, some smart aleck comment.
Do you remember?
He called just belligerent, just angry, for no apparent reason. He had done this many times
You
before.
mean he called before 10 o'clock that night, before he left?
I don't know if it was before 10 o'clock. I think it was after I had been there for a couple hours. And
So he called you from the bar?
From his cell phone. I didn't
From
know
his cell
he
phone.
was
Well,
at
he
a
was
bar.
at the bar
Yeah.
from 10 to 2. You got to the party at 9:30, so in all
Yeah.
probability he was drinking and commiserating with himself about how badly he felt that you were no longer together. So, Mr. Penhollow, now we have a situation where somebody has told you something that upset you about Miss Atkins.
Yes,
And you wanted to go over and confront her.
of course.
And you did go, well, not of course.
Well, yeah. I
Not
found
of
this,
course.
I found this news out, and I wanted it settled. So
Why?
Why?
You think that it's a smart idea to settle a dispute, sir, at 2 o'clock in the morning after you've been drinking for 4 hours? You think that that's intelligent? Huh? You think that that's the optimum time to settle something and clear the air?
At the time.
Well, at the time, because your judgment is clouded because you were drinking for 4 hours, sir.
Possibly.
Not possibly. I mean, don't be foolish.
Yeah.
Good. That's what I like to hear. So now you go over to the party and it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
And when you got there, what happened, Mr. Penhallow?
Well, I found out that she was downstairs. I walked in, went downstairs, said some pretty mean things.
Said some mean things?
Yes.
Now, were those things that you would ordinarily have said had you not been drinking?
Yeah, probably. I was that mad.
So that you were angry as usual, but clouded judgment impaired by alcohol?
Yes.
Wonderful.
So, I ended up getting kicked out of the party.
Okay, so you said some vile things to
Yeah.
Miss Atkins in front of her friends, and who kicked you out of the party?
I guess it was the owner of the house. I don't know.
Did that make you feel better?
Not really.
Well, let me just a second. So now you're not feeling better than you were when you arrived because you didn't get it all out of your system because you got kicked out of the party.
Yeah.
Who went over with you to the party?
No.
Oh, is not an answer.
No one.
And how did you get there?
I took my roommate's car.
So you drove drunk?
Yes.
Okay. Did your roommate give you permission to take his car?
She did.
She did?
Yeah.
Where was she? Was she also drinking with you at the bar?
Yes.
And you said, give me the keys to your car, and she said, okay.
Yes.
Another genius.
Mm-hmm.
So where did you go, sir?
Where did I go? I went to the party.
And then you got kicked out. And
Yeah.
what happened?
I got kicked out, and I was outside. And
What were you doing outside?
I was waiting because I was talking to the person on the other side of the fence because I wanted to talk to her. And so they finally came out, and I left.
Who finally came out?
She did, and she was all upset, and they're like, we don't want to talk to you. We don't, So I just basically gave them the finger and left.
Now, do you have photographs of your car?
Yes.
I'd like to see them. Do you have any witnesses who saw him around your car?
Yes. My friend
That would be
Christiane.
this gentleman's right over here. Step
Yes.
up, sir. Tell me your name.
My name is Krishna Lingam.
You were at the party that night?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, tell me what you saw.
Well, as I got out of the house, I went outside, and then I looked outside, and he was across the fence, and then he told me to call Shan outside, and then told me that he damaged her car.
He told you?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said that I put a dent on her car.
Okay. Who do you think dented her car, Mr. Penhallow?
I have no idea.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Penhallow?
I'm a barista.
A what?
A barista.
What is that?
Coffee. I make coffee.
Is that what they call it? A barista?
So I understand.
What?
So I understand.
Did you know that before? A barista?
Yeah. I do crosswords. I do crosswords,
I know.
remember?
Do you want to be anything other than a barista, sir, when you grow up?
I want to actually own my own coffee shop.
Good. Coffee is better than booze, right?
It is.
Judged for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,575. Thank you very much. You may step out.
Parties are excused.
I found out she was cheating on me.
Kept having to bail him out of jail.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is case number 222 on the calendar in the matter of Dawson versus Paul. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Miss Dawson, Miss Paul's son was living with you at a time when he was having some difficulty at home.
That's correct.
You're going to tell me how that came about in a moment. But while he was living with you, he drove your car and he damaged the car. You believe his mother is responsible for the damage that he did to your car. His mother says you should have sent him home when she told you to send him home. That's your defense. Well, there's more to it than that, but we'll get to that in a minute. When did Mrs. Paul's son come to live with you?
It was toward the end of April 2006.
Tell me how that came about.
He just showed up at my house one night, and it was probably...
Is he a friend of one of your children's?
He's a friend of my granddaughter's, Ashley. It was about 11:30 that evening, and he just showed up unexpectedly, told me that he had been put out of his home, he had no place to go. Could he please spend the night with me? I was pretty reluctant, but I said, you know, what happened? And he told me that there was a big fight at home, and he had just been put out.
Did you call his mother?
I didn't.
You should have.
I didn't have his mom's number.
Did you ask him for his mother's number?
You know, actually, I didn't.
Well, but that would have been the right thing to do. How old is he?
He's
17. He was 17, so he's a minor. So before you take a minor's word as to what has happened that causes him to come to your house 11:30, I would just have, for future reference, and for those of you out there in cyberspace, you call the mother and you say, what happened? And he's here. Don't worry about him. If you have no objection, I'll let him spend the night here, but he's safe. So you let him spend the night. Go ahead.
I did, and I immediately called SAC PD, who advised me, and and it was my intention anyway, to call CPS. So that's what I did. The emergency CPS worker told me that I would receive a call the following day, and I did receive a call the following day. Explained the circumstances to the CPS worker. She advised me that she would be contacting his mother, and she would get back in touch with me.
Okay, now that was April. Until what date did he live with you?
Sometime in May.
Beginning, middle?
I think it was toward the middle.
So he stayed with you for about 2 weeks?
A little over 2 weeks, maybe about 3.
And had you been in touch with his mother during that period of time?
I had not been in touch with his mother.
At all?
Not at all.
So she never spoke to you directly or indirectly?
Actually, the only time I spoke with her was when we were on a 3-way conversation with an officer from the Missing Persons Bureau in Sacramento.
At that time, did she tell you to send him home?
The officer?
No,
Yeah.
his mother.
Yes, I was always willing to send him home.
No, did she tell you she wanted him home?
She did, I believe, at that time.
Okay. And he did not go home?
I was having a problem getting him out of my house.
Fine. When was the accident with your car?
May 7th.
Tell me about that.
I received a phone call from my daughter. She was moving and she needed help, and she asked us to come over and help her. In fact, I believe she had told Ajan that if he helped, she would pay him like $100.
Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
And so we were packing and moving things in and out of the truck and going from the old apartment to the new apartment.
So, I understand. Go ahead.
Okay. So, somewhere around 2 in the afternoon, we left the old apartment. We took a load over to the new apartment, dropped everything off. And when I got back to my daughter's, my car had been damaged. I was very upset. Ajan happened to be standing outside at the time, and I said, what happened to my car? And he said, I'm sorry. And I said, what happened to my? I was hysterical. And he said, I'm sorry. And I said, what do you mean you're sorry? He said, I'm sorry, I damaged your car, I wrecked your car.
Where were the keys to the car?
They were in my purse inside the apartment.
You mean you left your pocketbook inside the apartment when you went over to your daughter's house?
Well,
to
we
the
all
new apartment?
did.
So what you're telling me is he went to your purse, took out the keys to your car, and got into your car for some reason?
Yes, he did.
Is that what happened, sir?
No, ma'am.
Want to stand up, tell me what happened? Doesn't sound right to me.
I was helping them move, and when me and Miss Eleanor had pulled back up to the old apartment to add another load of stuff, she needed her car moved so we could move the U-Haul in. So then I asked her, did she need some help? So she handed me the keys, so I got in the car and I backed up too fast into the wall.
Not true.
Did you go into a purse and take out the keys?
No, she handed me the keys when we were inside of the
Had you
U-Haul.
ever driven that car before?
I haven't.
Do you have a driver's license?
I don't.
So why did you get behind the wheel of a car?
Because it was a basic procedure that I thought I could execute, but...
Miss Dawson, this is your problem, madam. Your problem was Miss Paul's son, according to you, was staying with you without permission. He was staying with you in violation of his mother's wishes. According to you, you had trouble getting him out of the house. You shouldn't have let him in the house to begin with until you found out what was going on. Where are you living now?
Back at home.
You're going to follow the rules now?
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me?
What?
Judge, I had met his mother on a previous occasion, and she was extremely hostile toward me. So I felt reluctant about calling her the night that he showed up at my house.
Madam, then you shouldn't have let her son in your home and interfered with business. But you did that already. But now he's been in your home 2 weeks. He is under your control. He is a minor under your control. Let me put it to you this way, Miss Dawson. If you had left your keys in a place where he could get them, and even if he took the keys without your permission, it would still be your responsibility. And if you left the keys in a situation where he could get the keys and he injured himself, you would be responsible for his injuries. He's a minor. His mother's not responsible for his injuries because, according to you, when you had a 3-way conversation with the police, his mother said, I want you to send him home.
That was after he had damaged my car.
So you mean after he damaged your car, you continued to let him stay with you?
She was on a cruise at that time.
Just a second. You continued to let him stay with you?
Yes, ma'am.
No, Miss Dawson.
Excuse me, Judge Judy, she was on a cruise. She was out the country.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
This child was living under your control.
How could I be responsible being a good Samaritan? He told me he was being abused.
And later today,
The mother put it out for a garage sale, and she was going to sell it to a stranger. Is that right?
No, ma'am.
Yes,
well,
it
I believe
is,
that that's
Cheryl.
true, Miss Bellinger, because I'm looking at your face.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Eleanor Dawson claims 17-year-old Ajon Hart drove her car without permission and wrecked it. Ajon and his mother Yolanda claim Eleanor handed him the keys.
You assumed the responsibility for this minor, and you assumed the responsibility of all of his actions when he was with you. You shouldn't have done that, Miss Dawson. And you certainly, understanding that, should not have left your keys, if I believe you, that you left your pocketbook in an apartment that was being emptied and went to another location, if I believe that.
The apartment wasn't totally empty, Judge.
I said that was being emptied.
Okay.
And you left your purse and your valuables in this apartment that was being emptied, that contained the keys, and he took the keys without your permission to go someplace. I don't know if I believe that. But even if it's true, it's still your responsibility.
Judge.
It's your responsibility.
2 times this month, he's taken his mother's car without permission.
Listen to me. That's not my problem. That's his mother's problem if he's living under her roof. He's living under your roof, and if you know that that's a problem, you're not supposed to leave your keys in a situation. Listen to me. You're not supposed to leave your keys in a situation where a minor can get hold of the keys and take your car without your permission.
Judge Judy, I had no reason not to trust him.
Good.
None.
It doesn't make any difference. Bottom line is, this child was living under your control. You, therefore, are responsible for him, not his mother.
How could I be responsible being a good Samaritan?
Good.
He told me he was being abused, Judge. He had come
Miss Dawson, you're not getting it. You don't have a legal leg to stand on because you were standing in lieu of a parent when you assumed that responsibility. And it's your responsibility to see to it that he doesn't do anything wrong and that he doesn't get hurt. If he's hurt while he's living in your home, it's your responsibility, not his mother's. And if he causes damage to property while he's living in your home, especially without his mother's permission, it's your responsibility, Miss Dawson. I know you don't like the answer, but your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He was just refusing to go back home. He said he was being abused.
My son being abused, those allegations are unfounded. It is not true.
I did everything I was supposed to do. I called CPS, I called the police.
Like I said, the allegations were unfounded.
It just doesn't pay to be a good Samaritan and try to help people out. It just doesn't pay.
I really am sorry for what I did to Miss Eleanor's car.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bellinger Nicoletti versus Nicoletti. Step forward.
Cheryl Bellinger and her daughter, Lauren Nicoletti, claim Lauren's grandmother, Louise Nicoletti, owes for the return of Lauren's high school diploma, her baptismal gown, and several savings bonds.
Miss Bellinger, this lady is your former mother-in-law. Was this your former husband?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
Who is how old?
20.
According to your complaint, I gather when you and your former husband were divorced some 15 years ago, your daughter was in the physical custody of her father, who lived with his mother, so that it was really your grandmother and your father who raised you. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Was your grandmother good to you for the 15 years you lived with her?
Yes.
Did she love you?
Yes.
When did you leave her home?
March of this year.
And why did you leave her home, Lauren?
Because I was sick of being questioned, the 50 questions.
About what?
About who I'm with, where I'm going.
You mean your social life?
Yes.
You felt that they were too intrusive into your social life?
Yes.
While you were living with your father and your grandmother, did you see your mother?
No.
Okay. Now, Lauren, I'm going to ask you to sit down.
Okay.
Okay? It is your claim, Miss Bellinger, that the defendant has property that belongs to your daughter. I assume that the reason you're suing on her behalf is that there is some allegation that she needs some help in certain academic areas. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, during the time that your daughter was with her grandmother, were you under a child support order?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you pay it?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the order?
It was $86 per week.
And you paid every week?
Yes, there were some years that I didn't pay because I wasn't working.
I don't care whether you were working or not. That's not relevant to me. All I want to know is, did you pay every week? And the answer is no, you didn't. And there were years that you didn't pay.
There was approximately 2 years. I had 2 sons that I had given birth to.
2 years is a very long time not to pay child support. Now, this is your complaint on your daughter's behalf. First of all, you say that your former mother-in-law has your daughter's high school diploma. That she is prepared to turn over to her. So, Bird, would you take the high school diploma, please, and give it to Lauren, who wants a high school diploma. Okay, Lauren?
Yes.
Then there is a question of a baptismal gown. How old was your daughter?
She was about 3 months.
Now, why would you want that?
So I could pass it on to my daughter for her children.
You mean give it to Lauren?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Lauren, do you want your baptismal gown?
Yes.
Okay. Should give that to her. And I understand that you're annoyed at the whole thing because the mother put it out for a garage sale.
Yes.
And she was going to sell it to a stranger.
For $5.
For $5. Is that right?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes,
well,
it
I believe
is,
that that's
Cheryl.
true, Miss Bellinger, because I'm looking at your face, and I believe that that's true, that you were going to sell it, and they retrieved it. At this point, it's important to your daughter. Is that what you want, Lauren? You're going to take care of it?
Yes.
If we give it to you? Okay. Your grandmother is going to give that to you. Okay?
Okay, I will.
Perfect. Now we come to the bigger issue. You say, Miss Bellinger, that over the years, your daughter was given U.S. savings bonds, and you believe thousands and thousands of dollars of U.S. savings bonds. Who gave them to her?
Friends and family when she was baptized and for her first birthday and years beyond that.
How do you know that? Did you give them to her?
No, but I was there during her baptismal and during her first birthday.
How many did you give her?
I didn't give her any.
Okay. Mrs. Nicoletti, how many bonds does Lauren have?
There's 4 here.
May I see them, please? And are those all the bonds she received?
Yes.
May I see them, please? I see 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. 2 are in my social security number, and 1 is in Lauren's social security number.
Do you remember who these were from?
No, I don't. They were gifts.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Lauren, I'm going to ask you to stand up now just for a second. I just have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Tell me why you want your bonds now. There is some $600 worth of bonds. Some of them have accumulated even more interest, not $5,000 worth of bonds. Tell me why you want the money now.
Because I need to get a car to get back and forth to work.
Okay, good. Your grandmother indicated to me that she would love to be able to give this money to you if it was going to be used for you.
It is. It's going to be used so I get a car.
Great. That being the case, Miss Nicoletti, do you have any problem with your granddaughter having these bonds?
She called me a couple of weeks ago and said she wanted the bonds to buy her a car for $300. And I said, you get a car for $300, you're going to have to put a lot of maintenance work into it.
That's true.
And she never answered my question when I asked her if she had a driver's license because her mother was telling her, get off the phone, hang up on her.
Well,
so I don't even know if she has a license.
Lauren, do you have a driver's license?
No, I have a permit from New York.
When do you think that you're going to get your driver's license?
As soon as I get back home.
Would you mind if I did this? Listen to me carefully. Would you mind if I let your grandmother keep these bonds until you get your driver's license?
It's probably going to be like 2 days after I get back.
Perfect. She's going to send them to you. Now, I also think, Miss Bellinger, that since you did not pay child support for years, that instead of having your daughter spend $600 on a car, you ought to buy her a nice car and maybe just use this money as a down payment. Because clearly your former husband and his mother took care of a responsibility that was at least partially yours that you didn't take care of. And now that your daughter's 20 and she's living with you, it would seem to me that you would want to pick up the slack that you hadn't for 15 years and help her buy a car for more than $300 that won't give her any trouble. Do we understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
she's exactly $7,282.71 behind. And,
In arrears.
In arrears.
Okay. Now, the fact, Miss Bellinger, that you had 2 other children,
Yes, ma'am.
I'll say to you what I would say to any man that stood in your place. You had 2 other children, fully understanding that you had a prior responsibility. Your prior responsibility was this child. And if you chose to have 2 other children, you should have had enough money and resources to support all 3 of your children.
My husband that I was married to when I had my 2 sons refused to let me work.
Then you shouldn't have married him. Then you shouldn't have married him. Just because you are a woman does not separate you from the law. And the law would not permit that as an excuse for a man who decided to get married and have other children and say to his new wife, you can't work, so I can't take care of my first responsibility, and it doesn't relieve you of that responsibility either.
Your Honor?
So, just a second. I don't need any help from you.
Okay.
I don't need any help from you. I'm returning these bonds to you as soon as Lauren mails you a copy of her driver's license. Got it, Lauren?
Yes.
You're going to send her these bonds, because that's what she wants to use the money for, to buy a car. But first, she should have a driver's license.
Yes.
You agree?
Yes, I do.
Your Honor.
What?
Can I say something?
Yes.
Lauren can't use my car to get a license because I drive a stick shift. She has to drive an automatic, and this is why she wanted to purchase a car prior
She
to her
cannot
getting
purchase a car without a driver's license, a valid driver's license. And if you think that I am going to permit her to purchase a car in your name because you have a valid driver's license, you're crazy.
I did it.
Give them back to her, please.
I did it for my stepdaughter.
Listen, you may have done it for your stepdaughter, and you may have done it for your two sons. You've done very little for your daughter, so I would suggest of the $7,000 that they're not going to see of your back child support, purchase a car for your daughter. That's all.
Let's step out.
All the vindictiveness back and forth, and I'm tired of it.
We have not been vindictive.
I've been divorced for him for...
Maker. President sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Bolden, the defendant was your girlfriend at one time.
Yes.
About 9 years ago.
Yes.
And you have a child together, a boy. You have been legally declared the father of that child. Is that
Yes.
right? In a court.
Yes.
You had taken a paternity test when he was born, and the paternity test established that you are, in fact, the child's father.
Right.
Recently, you began to have certain reservations about that because you say he doesn't look like you.
Right.
So you wanted to have another paternity test.
Yes.
According to you, Ms. Maker agreed to take another paternity test. You made the arrangements and she didn't show up, so you want to be reimbursed for the test. Ms. Maker said, I never agreed to take another paternity test. My son is 9 years old. He doesn't have a relationship with his father. His father is really losing out. She doesn't have to be told twice that you're the child's father. You are his father. That's what the case is about. You want the money back that you put down for the paternity test, for the second test, which is $630. So before we move on, Mr. Bolden, who is this?
That's my girlfriend.
What possible information could she have with regard to this case?
Well, she's just here to back me up, saying that, I have papers right here saying where she signed to take this paternity test.
So what evidence?
She's just here with me really for support.
That's very stupid on your part to bring her here for no reason. I'm just telling you. It's just, she's just an irritant.
Well, I'm here.
Mr. Bolden. So let's move back. Can I see the results of the first paternity test that you took? The bloods were drawn on both of you on the same date. Were you present together when the bloods were drawn?
Yes.
And the child's blood was taken the same time?
Yes.
And according to this paternity test, sir, there is a 99.85 probability that you are the father of this child.
Your Honor, where we're from, I've been hearing reports that, it's been tampering with tests, so I figured I'd take another chance with it.
But you waited 8 years.
Just a second.
8 years.
The defendant, she didn't tell me she was pregnant until she was 8 months alone.
You're lying.
No.
Listen to me. I don't want to hear that.
Well, he's telling a lie.
Listen to me. Listen to me, Mr. Bolden. You may, and I assume that you don't have a relationship with this boy. Is that right?
No, he doesn't.
No. That's why I want to get this all out in the open.
Oh, just a second. It's all out in the open, sir. You have an order of affiliation and you have an order of support. And you have a blood test that was done by a laboratory that the courts in your jurisdiction has deemed an appropriate facility for taking and drawing blood. 99.85. I suggest, sir, that you have to move on. You're going to pay support for this boy until he is 18 years old. And if you choose not to have a relationship with him, that's your loss and his loss. Now, when did she agree to take another test?
March the 19th is the day she signed the paper.
Let me see. Tell me about the conversation you had with her.
Well, it was pretty brief. I went to her residence and told her I didn't think the child was mine.
What made you think 8.5 years later, what woke up and, you know, you got this bee in your bonnet 8.5 years later that the child wasn't yours? What happened?
I mean, I always had my doubts.
But what was it 8.5 years later?
I mean, the child doesn't look like me. Not at all.
Does it look like his mother?
Doesn't even look like her.
Just a second. Doesn't look like the mother either.
Sick.
No.
You're being foolish, Mr. Bolden. Okay, so let me just understand. You went over there to her and you said to her, he doesn't look like me. I don't think he's mine. I want to take another blood test.
Right.
And she said, okay.
Yes.
Why would she agree 8.5 years later to take this test?
Maybe she was sure, you know, he was mine.
No. Why would she agree to take the test? That's something that just doesn't make sense to me.
Exactly.
What makes sense to me is that she would be angry with you, that she would feel as if you have shortchanged this boy by not participating in his life for 8.5 years, that while she gets child support from you, she would have preferred a little bit more support in other areas, emotional support with the boy, which you haven't given her. So you want me to believe that you went over there and said, listen, I want to take another blood test, so I not only cut off all emotional support, which I haven't given you, but I'm going to cut off financial support too, if he's not mine. So I want you to sign this piece of paper, and she just went and signed the piece of paper. Is that what you want me to believe?
First, we went to the family court. I filed a petition.
Oh, okay. So first you went for the family court, and and what happened?
They denied me. The judge said...
Oh, just a second. So you went to the family court, and you filed a petition that said, I really want another blood test because I don't think he's mine because he doesn't look like me.
Right.
And you brought her to court.
Yes.
When he served you with the papers to go to family court.
And they sent me the notice of when the date was, and it was on March 2nd.
Okay. Were you surprised to get it?
Yes.
Were you annoyed?
Yeah, because I've been getting a lot of papers from him about crazy stuff.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You are frustrated and annoyed with him, right?
Yes.
You picked him. He can't help being stupid. You had a choice.
And later today.
When did this incident happen with your dad?
May 18th. He told me to step outside and ask for the razor. Then he slapped me in the face twice, put the razor to my face, and that's when I jerked away from him and started running.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cardell Bolden claims ex-girlfriend Lisa Maker owes for a DNA test that never happened. Cardell says he arranged the test because Lisa's son looks nothing like him.
Did you sign this piece of paper?
Yes, because when we went to court that morning and we was leaving out of court and he says, Lisa, can we get more tests done? I says, no, I'm done with it. I said, I'm not doing anything. Only thing I need from you now is his insurance papers because he do pay medical insurance for him through his job. A couple days later, he comes to the house. Comes in, my son is in there. He never speaks, never says one word to my son, which he does it all the time, because he says that my son is not his. We had the test. I'm like, oh, well, if you want to sit up there and miss out, that's on you. I'm not worried about it. He says, here's the papers. I signed. I said, get out, because it didn't make sense for a grown man to walk in my house, not speak to that child or anything. He left. Lab court calls me.
So what you're telling me is you thought that these papers had to do with your son's medical insurance.
Because my son does not get Medicaid through the state. So when he leaves, lab court calls me. I told the lady, I said, look, I don't have to go take no test. The state says I ain't going to do it. Goodbye. Don't call my house no more. Hung up.
She knew what those papers were, Your Honor.
Why would I sit there and sign?
And we both read through them.
Listen to me. Don't answer. You're always supposed to read what you sign.
But how... I mean, my son is right in the house. This man walks in the house and not even speak to my son.
It's obnoxious. It's obnoxious. It's obnoxious and stupid.
It is.
It's a product of a stupid mind, an uncaring mind. Mm-hmm. It's a product of somebody who says that it's the fault of a 9-year-old child to be born.
Yeah.
Why didn't you speak to him?
That's all irrelevant, Your Honor.
Why didn't you speak to him?
I didn't even see her son was not present. When I came in.
Right there.
Her cousin was there. Her son was not there.
He was in the house.
Shh, just a second. Just a second. Have you ever spoken to him?
Yes.
What have you said to him?
Hey, how you doing?
I mean, I speak to him.
He doesn't know who his dad is, so he's making my son the same way he is. But it's all going to change.
Why not take the test?
I don't have to
I'm
take
not listening
anything.
to you. Goodbye.
I don't have to take.
Listen to me. You're in a court. I don't know where you think you are. So far, you're not losing, but you're irritating me. You are frustrated and annoyed with him, right?
Yes.
You picked him. You picked him to father your child. He can't help being stupid. You had a choice. You picked him. So I would suggest you keep your mouth shut. Right? Good. Your case is dismissed, sir. You don't wish to have a relationship with this child. That's your prerogative. You will support him until he's a majority. That's all.
All you guys do is step out.
My son has a lot of positive men in his life. If he doesn't want to step up to the plate, he ain't got to.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Young versus McIntyre step forward.
19-year-old student Quentin Young is suing his father, truck driver Robert McIntyre, for medical bills due to an assault. Quentin claims his father held a razor to his neck and slapped him twice.
Quentin, this is your dad.
Right.
And it is your complaint that last year he assaulted you.
Yes, ma'am.
And you had some medical bills.
Yes, ma'am.
That he had promised to pay.
Yes, ma'am.
He didn't. You want him to pay the medical bills.
Right.
His father says that you were acting disrespectfully.
Right.
He slapped you.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's it.
And put a razor to my face after he slapped me.
Just a second.
Okay.
That's what he says.
Okay.
Your parents are divorced?
Yes, ma'am.
How long are they divorced?
Ever since I was 4 and I'm 20 now.
Who's this lady?
My mom.
She remarried?
Yes, ma'am.
Is your father remarried?
Many times, ma'am. No, ma'am.
When did this incident happen with your dad?
May 18th of 2003.
And you were living with your mom?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did it happen?
It happened in the Oak Cliff area in Dallas, Texas, at his friend's house.
What were you doing at his friend's house?
We were supposed to take pictures that day. It was me, my father, my younger brother, and my other younger brother. My brother's right there.
Tell me what happened.
What happened was we went over to his friend's house. He had 4 outfits for all of us, which was me, my brother, my father, and my other little brother. I started to tear off the logo sign of the Dickies.
He was trying to cut it off, man.
Well,
with a razor blade.
I love the arts, and I like to make my own style of clothing. And
Then he should have bought his own.
Okay, so he bought 4 outfits.
Right, right.
So everybody would be dressed the same way.
Right, but he didn't buy them.
Where did he get them?
Well, my brother later told me that he stole them off his truck.
What kind of truck?
18-wheeler truck, but he stole and he works, you know, so that's what he did.
So you're taking the Dickie label off the pants.
Yes, ma'am.
And then what happened?
He told me to step outside and ask for the razor. Then he slapped me in the face twice and put the razor to my face, and that's when I jerked away from him and started running.
Well, did the razor cut you?
It
either cut you or it didn't.
It didn't cut me.
Okay, put your hand down. So he slapped you twice?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you weren't injured from his slapping you, were you?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Well, tell me about your injury.
Well, I went to the hospital and they said...
Why?
Because I was hurt, Your Honor.
Let me see the hospital report, please.
Okay.
Well, this is just a bill. I want to see the report.
I don't have the report. They're supposed to give them to me. They didn't give them to me in time.
Who took you to the hospital?
My mother drove me.
Step up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, your son left and he called you, I assume, after his father slapped him twice in the face. Where were you when he called you?
I was at home.
And you got in your car and you went and picked him up?
Yes, I did. And his face was swollen, and he had a cut on his face.
Where?
It was right...
I don't see anything about blood here.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't like a big gash, but it was a small amount of blood.
I don't, listen to me. I don't see anything about blood here. I don't see anything about stitches here. I don't see anything about anything here. Why did you put your hands on him?
You know, Quentin had this attitude that, you know, he was just getting belligerent, you know, like coming around, you know, like smarting off and all that. The way
what did he say to you?
I asked him what was he doing. He said, you gave him to me, didn't you? So by him being in front of my other kids, let's go outside. You know, I'm not gonna.
Hey!
See what I mean?
Go ahead.
When he goes outside, he like backs up and balls his hands up, and I'm like, Quentin, you know, I grabbed him around the neck. Then he acted like, you know, raised one of his hands up, and that's when I slapped him. Because he's in front of my other kids, and I'm not having it. Where I was raised at, ma'am, respect.
You're absolutely right. You should respect your parents, and your parents shouldn't put their hands on you, especially if you're a grown-up. You don't put your hands on them.
I understand.
It's not a smart thing to do. You also don't overreact and take him to the hospital because he got slapped in the face. What?
All right, does it say in the report, of his report, that I balled up my fist to...
I don't care whether you did. I just told him he had no right to hit you.
Okay.
I just told him he had no right to hit you. Shouldn't hit his child, especially a grown-up child.
That's right.
And if you did, you felt as if he disrespected you, and he didn't treat you in a fatherly way, and he didn't respect your art, and he didn't respect your individuality, and he didn't respect all that other thing. That's a lot of bull. He got 4 outfits to take a picture. You didn't like the outfit, suck it up, take the picture, and go home to your mama.
I was feeling the same way.
You understand?
I was feeling the same way, but he slapped me for it.
Then what'd you go outside and start cutting up the outfit for?
No, I was cutting it up on the inside.
In front of me, Your Honor.
Okay, in front of you.
Why didn't you wait until you got home?
That's what I asked.
We were taking pictures that day, Your Honor. So.
Why didn't you wait until you got home?
But why would I?
Your Honor, he's just wanted to show his dad. He's been away for many years.
Don't speak.
He's been away for many years, and my son, I have remarried, and my son just was reaching out. He yearned to be with his dad. I okayed many trips for him to go with him on the U-Haul truck. But when he got with him, he betrayed him by fighting him. He knows that he's in theater. He knows that his aspirations is to get into entertainment business, but he disrespected his own son. I'm okay. He disrespected his own son.
Listen to me. His son disrespected him.
He loves his son. He loves his dad to death.
Listen, that's why you're not paying attention. That moment, that day, your son was disrespectful for the moment. And I told his father he had no right to put his hands on him. He had no right to overreact. And neither does he. He wants to be an actor. Great. It doesn't mean you have to be abnormal.
But he didn't want to disrespect him.
Listen to me.
That's not what he wanted,
Get
Judge.
over it, madam. It's not a big deal in the scheme of things. It's not a big deal to take a picture with your father with an outfit that has a dicky label on it or any label on it. It's not a big deal.
Away from the picture. The logo is small. It won't take away from the picture.
I got it for him, Your Honor.
Listen to me.
You stole it.
Speak quiet. Speak.
You got it.
Mr. McIntyre, shh. Don't speak. Don't speak.
Yes, ma'am.
All very unfortunate. And it's certainly very unfortunate that you overreacted and took him to a hospital and built up this medical bill that was ridiculous. You should have taken him home and put a cold rag on his head. In any event, I think you both behaved badly that day. I think you did. And I think if you encourage your son to think that he did the right thing, that's a big mistake.
I'm not, Your Honor.
Well, you shouldn't.
I wouldn't do that.
Well, you shouldn't. And if his father hasn't been much of a father to him over the last, 20 years, 15 years, whatever it is, you're not going to make up for it in one picture, sir.
Exactly.
There's a lot of history that goes on.
Yes, ma'am.
But one thing that you don't do, especially with a child who you haven't been around and haven't been a father to his whole life, you don't put your hands on him.
Exactly.
You got it?
Yes, ma'am.
So you owe him an apology for that. You owe him an apology for that. That's all. Case is dismissed. That's all.
Excuse, you may step out. You've been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Miss Willis, you've been taking care of Miss Banchler's daughter for years.
Yes.
She first came to live with you because you were married to her father?
Yes.
He's in prison?
No, he's just not around at all.
Left.
Gone.
And you have how many children with him?
None.
You have children of your own?
I do, right.
But he brought this child into your home?
Right.
When?
August 28th of 2000.
How old is she?
She's 11. She'll be 12 in June.
And you've been taking care of her ever since?
Solely.
When did your husband leave?
In 2002.
Where were you?
In Washington State.
What were you doing there?
I live there.
What you want, Miss Willis, is you want support for this little girl from her mother because you've been taking care of her according to you, with no support from her mother.
None.
Ball's in your court, madam. I'd like to hear you.
I have evidence here of money order receipts as well as a letter that I wrote. I have package receipts that I've mailed packages to
I'm not
her.
interested in packages.
Okay.
Forget packages. Packages are not support. Okay. How much support have you sent for your daughter since 2002?
There's one for $150 here.
Give me just a second. I have to do this. 150. Go ahead.
There's one here for $30.
$30.
One for $100. One for $150. And one for $50.
Who were those money orders made out to?
They were made out to her father. Only one of them was made out to Oki.
She's never made one out to me.
What was the date of the last one?
September 8th, 2003.
Okay, since September 8th, 2003, you have sent no support for your daughter.
Not cash.
Well, that's all I'm interested in. It's cash. How do you support yourself? With
Work.
packages?
No.
Your boss at the end of the week give you packages?
No.
Well, at the end of the week, your boss gives you money.
Right.
Well, that's support. That's what people barter in this country. You give them dollars, and they give you bagels and lox and milk and chopped meat and chicken. You know, that's how we survive in this country. How did you expect your children to survive since September of 2003?
I felt like that was her father's responsibility.
Wrong.
So I sent her to him. He said that he would take care of her, and obviously he did not do that.
Well, when did you find out that he split?
I found out when Judge Judy called me.
You didn't know that before?
No.
Well, that's interesting. So the last contact you had with your child was over 2.5 years ago. Is that right?
Yes.
Why is that? Did you move?
No. I just moved in September. Before that, I stayed in the same house. She was out here last summer also, and I let her at her mother's house, and I let my daughter call over there to speak with her grandmother. My daughter speak with her grandmother to tell her happy birthday. She answered the phone. My daughter said, "Mommy, like, what are you doing out here?" She didn't even speak. You know, she passed the phone to her mother instead of talking to her daughter. I called back the next morning to speak with her. Her mother told me she already left back for Washington.
Listen to me. Since Miss Willis has been caring for your daughter, you provided $480. That amounts to 32 cents a day. Do you think that's enough?
No, it isn't.
What kind of a job do you have?
I'm a custodial.
How much do you earn a week?
$400.
Here you have a child that you expect to exist on 30 cents a day. It's not her responsibility to support your child.
She took the responsibility.
No, she didn't. She didn't adopt your child.
At any point, she could have sent my daughter back to me at any point.
That is the most ridiculous statement that I've ever heard. If you chose to have a baby and not be a mother, that's your prerogative. If you were smart enough to say, listen, I'm not the maternal type. I'm not good at raising a child. You probably can do it better. I'm going to let you do it because I can't, or I'm not interested in doing it. That's honest. But don't tell me that you've got this burning maternal instinct in your stomach and all she had to do was call you and you would have taken your daughter. Because anybody who is a parent, they wake up in the morning and they go into the nursery and they say, gee, my kid's not here. You know? They don't wait 2.5 years.
I didn't wait 2.5 years. I've tried on multiple occasions to call them. They told me that I cannot call or send her any more packages.
Listen to me,
That's what
my
her
friend.
father
Listen
said.
to me very carefully. At this point, Miss Willis is a legal stranger to your child. At any time, you could have petitioned the court for immediate custody of your daughter. I doubt that you can do it now. I would think that any judge that would give you custody of your child at this point had to be missing one in his six-pack. However, there was a time immediately after the child left your custody when you could have done that. So you can relinquish custody of your child to somebody else, but when you relinquish custody of your child to a stranger, you pay support. And what Miss Willis is asking for, as far as I'm concerned, is a minimal amount of retroactive support for the child in the time that she supported the child. What she's asking for is $5,000 over the course of 4 years. It's a little more than $1,000 a year. Figure it out. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She had numerous opportunities to get her daughter back.
I've been denied the opportunity to do it, not necessarily by the plaintiff, but by her father.
Well, she's my daughter. I couldn't imagine her even going back with her.
I don't accept the fact that I'm going to have a custody issue with her. She is my daughter.
I will fight to the end to make sure she stays with me forever.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Jones versus Luis Castillo. Step forward, please.
Douglas Jones is suing his cousin, bus driver Dwight Lewis, and girlfriend Mary Ellen Castillo for damages to his home as the result of a fight. Douglas says Mary Ellen and his girlfriend went toe-to-toe.
Mr. Jones, Mr. Lewis is your cousin, according to your complaint, and this lady with him is his girlfriend.
That's correct.
At some time, for reasons that I'm sure you will explain to me, you allowed Mr. Lewis, his girlfriend, and her 3 children to move into your home, a home that you shared with your girlfriend.
That's correct.
And any other children?
Yes, 2 boys.
Whose children are those?
Ours.
The 2 women, for some reason, did not get along.
Right.
And there was an altercation that became physical. And it is your claim that this altercation that became physical resulted in Miss Castillo taking a plate and throwing it against your sliding glass doors, causing the door to break. You want her to pay $600 for the glass door.
Which the glass door that's been chipped, the kitchen window, she broke also.
Ms. Castillo says you're lucky she's not suing you and your girlfriend because she was injured during that altercation. An altercation that was started by your girlfriend.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She starts going, oink, oink, you a pig, oink, oink. And she spit in my face and ran.
So what did you do?
I snatched her up when she was running. And I threw her on the ground and we were fighting.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Douglas Jones says his cousin Dwight Lewis and his girlfriend Mary Ellen Castillo owe for damage to his house. Douglas says the damage occurred during a fight between Mary Ellen and his girlfriend Laminda.
Were you present during the altercation?
I know, I was in a room next to the kitchen.
Step up here. What's your name?
Laminda.
Laminda, you have a last name?
Malik.
When did they move in with you?
They moved in June of '04, and the fight took place at August.
It was right after your back
30th.
surgery.
Right, right.
August of 31st of '04.
Correct.
What started the fight?
We were in the kitchen, and the night before we had been fighting the whole night. My dad was just going to California, so he had stopped by, and she was still calling me names the next morning. It was over a washer and just things that she was like nitpicking on, you know, if I did the dishes or, you know, putting dishes to each side of the sink. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was little kid fighting, but she was still doing it the next day. When my dad came over, she stood over in the carport, and she starts like folding her arms and just staring at me, and I'm like, I'm trying not to look over at her, and she starts going, oink, 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 you a pig, oink, oink.
That's the day before.
Yeah, later on, we were cooking, and she spit in my face and ran. And at the time, she couldn't really talk because she had sores in her mouth. And so, I don't know, to me, that was assault. You know, that was assault to me. That was it. I had it, and I couldn't take it no more. And
so what did you do?
I snatched her up when she was running.
What does that mean, you snatched her up?
By her hair.
So you grabbed her by the hair?
Yeah.
And what did you do?
And I threw her on the ground, and we were fighting. Then her husband jumped in and went to go pull me off.
And that's when I heard the commotion.
That's when he heard the commotion.
And I just had a back operation a couple of days before that.
I'm sorry about that. You feeling better?
A little bit.
Good. Can we get back to the story, please? All right. So now he comes in to try to pull you off. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. And when he started to pull me off, I felt like I was being, like it was both of them. She was still getting her, kicking me and stuff, and I had been threatened by her the whole time.
Well, he's trying to pull you off, so evidently you're on top.
No, pull us apart, actually, because at the time we were both still wrestling on the ground, and I had been told many times, no, don't mess with Mary Ellen, you know, that she was going to whip my...
Okay.
Sorry.
Where are all the children when this is going on?
They were scattered all over the house. Some were playing out in the yard, and some were in the living room.
The children didn't come in to hear what all the commotion was?
Yeah, a couple of them came to the kitchen door after the fight had broken up. see, they've been nitpicking at each other for a while, especially Mary Ellen, because it seemed like she wanted to be the alpha female, and you don't do that when you're invited to somebody's house. I asked my cousin and them to come up here because Mary Ellen had got kicked out of his daughter's house in Georgia, where they moved into another house, and they said they had black mold and the mold was killing them. So I said, well, come on up and, you know, stay with me. You got 3 kids, so get them in school up here and come up here. I didn't expect her to come over and take over.
I wouldn't try to take over from her.
Evidently, she tried.
I want to know how the window got broken.
After the fight went on, I think Mary Ellen was very upset about getting beat because she was promoted. Come on. My cousin was promoting her as, you know, this really good fighter. She beat up 2 cops in California and all this kind of stuff. And she was upset getting beat, so she took it out on my house. You know,
Did you see her throw the plate?
No, I heard the plate. I saw her hitting the door with the plate, though, because once I heard the kitchen window break, I was on the phone with my brother, Wolf Fat Jones, and I came in. She was at the sliding glass door, banging it, but she had broke a plate on the sliding glass door already, putting chips
Why
in
were
it.
you hitting the sliding glass door with the plate?
It wasn't broken at all.
Why were you hitting it with the plate?
She attacked me when it was blood all over the floor, and she gave me a scar right here, and I have 4 stitches. I have 2 cuts, 4 stitches.
Sounds like you got the better of the bargain.
And my window still isn't fixed. I have plastic on it. You know, in Seattle, it rains a lot, and it ran up a lot of bills because I'm raising my 2 boys. I'm out on L&I right now, so I don't have a lot of money to fix the window. Labor in the industry. I got hurt at work. I work in a prison. So I couldn't get it fixed. They said that they were going to fix it.
When did they say they were going to fix it?
The next day afterwards, he said, well, let's go to Lowe's and find another window. And I said, no.
Did you say that, Mr. Lewis?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So why didn't you fix it?
He didn't want a Lowe's window. He wanted it professionally done, which would have cost a lot, and we didn't have the money at the time.
The reason why I didn't want him to fix my window, Your Honor, he changed my toilet seat with a crowbar.
Let me see the estimate on the window. As long as Mr. Lewis agreed to fix it, then he's got to fix it.
Well, Your Honor, he tried to fix my toilet bowl and cracked it. I don't want him to...
No, he's not coming back to fix it now.
Yeah, no, I don't want him to fix it anyway. Okay. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Do you have a picture of the patio door?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
I'd like to see it, please.
I took it with a camera phone, so you can still see it good, though.
Quite frankly, what distresses me more than anything else is that you have 5 children there who are witnessing these
That's
2 women
saying.
in a mud fight
the
on the
window.
kitchen floor. And according to your cousin, at least, you seem to think that it's wonderful that she's a good fighter.
He always did. He always did.
You've heard the fictionalized account. What I will tell you what truly happened.
Go ahead, I'm willing to listen.
When we left Georgia, we left Marietta because the house we were in had too much mold in it.
Tell me about your daughter.
Mary Ellen and the children wanted to go to Washington, to Uncle Dougie's house. So we went up there. He had told us, he had assured us beforehand that Laminda was not living there. He had kicked her out a year before because they weren't getting along.
Where were the children? His children living?
His children were there.
But not their mother?
No. He had hired a nanny for a while.
Is that right so far, sir?
That's correct.
Okay.
He had hired a nanny. She came over and beat up the nanny one day. That's why she had a warrant. That's why after she assaulted Mary Ellen, she had to split. That's why once we broke them apart in the kitchen during the fight, he was trying to get her out of the place before the police arrived.
Mr. Lewis, when you arrived there, was she there?
No, she was not. She has her own place in
When
Bremerton.
did she come back?
When he needed to have his back operation. His oldest son has diabetes. He did not trust either of us to give him his medication. We've never done it.
But she had.
So she had. They had been together since the kids were small until he got rid of her. Well, when she came back in, she was back in her house. She was pushing her around. She even tried to push me around, telling me to get out of my cousin's room.
Which was my room at the time?
No, you slept in the extra bedroom. He would let you come in there once in a while.
Okay.
For whatever.
Becoming clear to me, why did you eject her from the house?
She's been gone for at least a year and a half, maybe 2
Why?
years. Well, she liked going out a lot, you know. And
she liked to party.
Exactly, yeah.
And that wasn't good for your children?
No.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
There's a reason why you tell the mother of your children she can't live in your house anymore.
Right.
I mean, I don't have to go
We
into all the
actually
details.
parted our own ways.
There's a reason you tell the mother of your children that she can't live in your house anymore and she's leaving without her children.
I didn't
Right?
leave without my children,
Right?
Your Honor.
Right.
I didn't leave without my children. I had my children with me when I left them. I stayed in the shelter with my kids, Your Honor. So
somehow the children got back with their father.
Yeah, they did, because I was a housewife with nothing to stand on when I left him.
You have to pay for the window and the door. If you're still together, she looks confused. You understand that. You understand that you have to pay for the window and the door.
Yes, Your
You
Honor.
said you were going to pay for it. If she wants to sue her for her medical bills, she certainly is entitled to do that. At some other date, if you had filed a counterclaim with regard to her medical bills or injuries, I would have at least entertained that today, but you had no counterclaim. You have to pay for the window and the door. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
According to your complaint, you have overpaid child support to Mrs. Denton for triplets that were born as a result of a brief relationship that you had with Miss Denton. We'll get into the logistics and the timing of it in a moment. And these children have been adopted at this point by her husband.
Yes, ma'am.
And according to you, that this overpayment was made after the adoption was finalized. So you want the $2,400 back. Mr. and Mrs. Denton say that it's true that the money was paid, was taken out of your salary, I assume, after the children were adopted, but that for a very long time you paid nothing. So stop complaining.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when were you and Mrs. Denton together?
In March of 1998, ma'am.
And was it a monogamous relationship, or was it a boyfriend-girlfriend, or was it a casual relationship?
Casual.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And when did you find out that these children were going to be born?
Before I had left for Korea in 1998, she had mentioned to me that she was pregnant.
Mentioned?
Mentioned it.
That's not usually something you just mention.
Well, it wasn't actually her that had told me. It was one of her friends that she had put on the phone. They had told me that she was pregnant. And then shortly before I had left.
Okay. Do you remember what month that was? You remember?
It was April.
I told him in April.
Had you ever been pregnant before?
No, ma'am.
So this was just a lucky break that you had triplets the first time around.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. And lucky for you. Did you have any communication with Miss Denton from April until the triplets were born?
Very little. Right before I had left, she had actually mentioned to me that they were triplets.
What month did you tell them they were triplets?
When I found out in June.
Miss Denton, where were you living at the time?
With my mother and father.
Were you shocked?
Very.
Were your parents shocked?
Very.
In June, you advised him that they were going to be triplets.
Yes, ma'am.
And you left for Korea.
Yes, ma'am.
There was never any discussion of the two of you finalizing a relationship.
Ma'am, I didn't believe they were mine to begin with from the get-go.
Now, the children were born when?
They were born in 1999.
When?
September.
September 1998.
I'm sorry, 98.
September the 17th.
And when did you meet Mr. Denton?
In June of 1998.
Had you ever been married before?
No, ma'am.
And so you understood when you were getting married to this lady that you were taking on the responsibility of instant family.
Yes, ma'am.
When, for the first time, did you discuss with Amy the probability of your adopting the girls?
It was discussed off and on early in our relationship, shortly after we got married.
When did you get married?
Actually, 2 weeks after they were born, October 3rd of 98.
During the time that you were courting, between June and October, did you discuss what the family dynamic was going to be with him?
We were trying to decide whether or not that we should let them know that they have that their biological father, or just leave it as if I was the father. She was persistent on the fact that they needed to know that that was their father at first, and I really didn't have that feeling in my heart because I wanted to personally take care of myself.
When did you notify Sergeant Juan that he was the father of triplets?
When they were born, Red Cross sent a message stating that if they wouldn't let me say that his kids were born because we weren't married. They told him that a friend of his had triplets.
And you received that message?
I did not, ma'am.
You did not?
I did not receive that.
When did you first communicate with him?
In June of 2000. Well, I went to child support in June of 2000.
When the children were born, did you put his name on the birth certificate as the father?
No, ma'am. They would not let me.
Had you and your husband at that point decided that it was best if he adopt the children?
We had discussed it.
And I assume that he was parenting these little girls.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
That's a full-time job.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Do you work?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm in the service as well. I'm in the Army.
When you went to child support, what was the purpose of your going to child support?
To get help, because it's very expensive.
At that point, were you anxious for your husband to adopt the children?
We would like it. We were wanting it, yes.
I assume. You figure, well, if you push him to pay, he'd be more than anxious to give up his parental rights since he hadn't seen the children anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the back scenario. Well, what happened the first time you raised the issue of adoption?
He said he would not do it.
And when was that?
I do not recall exactly when it was.
Is that before or after?
It was after child support had started.
Ma'am, they actually had asked me prior to the child support starting. They wanted me to sign the papers so he could adopt them. I refused to because, number one, I didn't know for a fact that they were mine. I wasn't going to do it without blood tests.
So that they asked you to sign the papers relinquishing your parental rights before child support?
Correct.
That sounds more likely. And then child support was ordered, you went and you took a blood test, and as it turns out, you are the biological father of these 3 little girls.
Correct.
Did you start to visit them?
I did. On numerous occasions, I attempted to go over there. She had actually called me a few times to come over and spend some time with the girls. Unfortunately, most of the time it was late night. I didn't have a lot of time during the day or on weekends to see them unless it was later in the evening.
Why?
Because most of the time during the day I was working until about 1700, 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Do you have other children, sir?
I did have one other child at the time, yes.
What do you mean you did?
I gave her up for adoption as well.
You just keep pollinating around, Sergeant Juan. You've got to keep it zipped, sir.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You know, you're a grown-up, or at least you're old enough to be a grown-up. You're not responsible enough to be a grown-up, Sergeant, because grown-ups don't make irresponsible decisions all the time. And apparently you did.
And later today.
How long had you been in prison?
3 years, 7 months, 14 days.
And how old was your son when he was murdered?
23.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jeffrey Wan says the mother of his triplets, Amy Denton, and her husband, Daniel, owe for the return of child support. Jeffrey claims the couple accepted money after Daniel adopted the children.
So far, you got 4 babies, and it's easy to sign a piece of paper. It's much easier to, you know, use protection. Much easier. Causes a lot less pain to a lot more people, you know, get hurt. You have family?
Yes, ma'am.
You have mother?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a father?
I do.
You have siblings?
Yes.
You know, I mean, right now you have a mother and a father who have 4 grandchildren that they will never see. You know, that creates a heartache, even if you put it in the back of your mind someplace. Right?
Yes, it does.
You gotta grow up. Who is this?
That's my wife, ma'am.
You have children together?
Not yet, ma'am.
Okay. Well, after child support was ordered and you tried to see the girls and there was problems late night and whatever, when did you decide that you were going to consent to the adoption?
It was April of last year. They had asked me to allow them to change the names to Denton or add the name Denton onto their last names because they had another daughter as well who had the last name Denton. The girls wanted to have the same last name with their little sister. At first I said I wasn't going to allow it, and then I said the only way that it was going to happen was if he would adopt them. I don't want to have to put up with not being able to see my daughters on numerous occasions.
You didn't want to have 3 children have somebody else's last name and you paying support, right?
Correct.
Okay. And had your other child already been adopted?
Yes, ma'am.
So you knew how it worked?
Yes, ma'am.
When was the adoption finalized?
It was finalized in August of 2003.
For how many months did you receive support that came right out of his check?
I received it August, September, October, November, and December.
All right, Ms. Denton, tell me why you don't think you should give him the money back.
I don't feel we should owe him anything. He didn't pay us anything for 2.5 years. We asked him to please come see the children. We gave him chances. He would not do it because he did not want to do it in our home. He wanted to take them out of our home, which was fine. We felt after they got to know him and he got to know them, then they could go with him.
Why are you laughing, sir?
I'm just finding some of this to be amusing, ma'am.
Why?
The way that she said that I never wanted to go see I never wanted to see them, I never attempted to, is completely wrong. On numerous occasions I had tried to go see them, and most of the time they were with their grandparents or with their aunt and uncle, or just out and about doing something where I wasn't afforded the opportunity to see them until later in the evening.
Sergeant, you know, you are not a person without rights. And if visitation is something that you want, regularly scheduled visitation, you go to court and you say, I want a regular fixed period of visitation with my girls, and the court will set that kind of an order. But you can't stand there like a crybaby and say, well, she only let me see the children when it was convenient for her and she made it difficult for me. You know, you're a grown-up, or at least you're old enough to be a grown-up. You're not responsible enough to be a grown-up, Sergeant, because grown-ups don't make irresponsible decisions all the time. And apparently you did. Mrs. Denton, what I'm gathering from the two of you is that from the time the two of you met while you were pregnant, it was your hope, and your hope, sir, that you were going to be raising these girls as your own, and he wasn't going to be involved in your life.
Yes.
So that you did not pursue the issue of child support for several years. Yes. You were trying to see if you could get rid of him, you know. The longer he abandoned his responsibility and the fact that he had 3 children, the easier it would be for you to terminate his parental rights, free the children for adoption, and allow your husband to adopt them, which is really what you wanted.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have to return the money. I mean, you got what you wanted. And you knew that you shouldn't have taken this money after the adoption was finalized. When were you notified that the adoption was finalized,
Not
sir?
until December.
Well, as of August of 2003, this gentleman, the pollinator, had no legal obligation to support these girls because you and your husband got exactly what you wanted, which was you got him out of your life. You don't have to worry about him coming to visit, speaking with you. You don't have to worry about making decisions with him. He's out of your life. And you knew that you had no right to keep this money, so you could have sent it back to him. You chose not to do that. Well, that's the wrong thing to do. You know, if you're cutting the cord, you cut the cord, and you don't accept the money. And you didn't ask for any money until 2000. Anyway, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,400. I assume that these are the only 4 children that you have. Is that right?
These are the only 4 children that I have, yes, ma'am.
Perfect. That's all. You're going to think about that, aren't you?
I have one on the way.
Good. This one I assume you're going to stick with and support.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. That's all. Thank you. Good luck.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I felt like I was being taken advantage of. They were just collecting the money from me that I couldn't do anything about.
He knew from the beginning. He blew me off, basically.
I can't say that I was always the best person, but at the same time, I don't think I was irresponsible.
We would invite him to our home to see them, but he wouldn't because it wasn't the way he wanted it.
I think that he tried really hard on trying to see the girls, and they made it absolutely impossible.
Having to explain to the girls when they get older that we tried and he chose not to be part of their lives.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Young versus Thomas. Step forward.
Plaintiff Sarah Young is suing her deceased son's father, Bill Thomas, for his share of the funeral. Sarah says their son was murdered outside a convenience store.
You and Mr. Thomas had a son together.
That's correct.
That son, unfortunately, according to what I read in your complaint, was murdered.
Right.
And there was an insurance policy.
That's correct.
And the insurance policy was divided in half.
Yes.
You received half, and Mr. Thomas received half.
That's correct.
At the time that your son was murdered, you were in prison, Mr. Thomas, is that right?
That's correct.
How long had you been in prison?
3 years, 7 months, 14 days.
And how old was your son when he was murdered?
23.
You know the date of his death?
Yes, I do.
What was that?
January the 10th, 2004.
Now, what kind of an insurance policy did he have, Miss Young?
He worked for UPS, and he had a life insurance on the job.
And how much was the life insurance policy, the value that was paid?
It was $24,300.
And you received $12,000?
Yes, I did.
And Mr. Thomas received $12,000?
Yes, he did.
Is that right, Mr. Thomas?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. How much did the funeral cost?
The funeral was about $9,000.
And you want him to pay for half of the burial, which would be about $4,500.
Okay.
And what do you say about that, Mr. Thomas?
Well, the funeral
Well is not an answer, Mr. Thomas.
Yes, ma'am. The funeral only costs $3,484.
You can prove that?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see it, please. Is that your defense, sir? That it wasn't as expensive?
No,
or is your defense that you don't want to pay at all?
No, my defense is, not that I didn't want to pay at all. My defense is that I was never asked to pay anything to this day. The only time that I figured that I owed something is when I was served papers for $5,000. And I was away from my home at the time, and when I came home, and my wife said, your daughter came by and served some papers on you for her mother.
You testified that you paid directly out of your money for the funeral, is that right?
Yes.
Can I see the checks to the funeral parlor and the undertaker?
Hello.
And how did you pay them, by check?
Yes.
Can I see the checks, please?
I don't have the checks because I went through the credit union and I didn't know I had time to get the copy of it.
You had plenty of time, madam. These were in January of 2004.
What I meant, the reason I didn't have time to get the check when I decided to file, because first I was just going to let him walk away with the money and just go on about my business and take the pains in a different way. So after he started getting small with me and talking to me, you know, any type of way, I said, you know, I'm not going to let you get away with that. I spent 23 years old, 23 years climbing a pole, crawling on the house, taking care of my child. And then when he got killed, all you did is walked over and got half of the money. And I will not let you get away with that. And that's why I filed.
Okay,
now,
just Miss Young, but you have to understand, your claim is for half of your son's funeral expenses.
Right.
Now, Mr. Thomas is under no legal obligation to pay you half of your son's funeral expenses.
Okay.
I'm not saying he doesn't have a moral obligation, but this isn't a moral court. This is a law court. So he has no legal obligation to pay for the funeral. But assuming today,
okay,
Mr. Thomas says to me, I would pay for half. That's the right thing to do. But you don't have proof of what you paid. And I'm asking you why.
I didn't burn the check.
Well, I can't help you, madam.
Okay.
If you come back, if you want to dismiss this case without prejudice and come back and show me proof that you've paid, that's fine. But that's only if Mr. Thomas will agree that if she has proof that she actually paid for this funeral, you say she did not. But if she has proof that she actually paid, are you prepared to pay for half?
Yes, I'm willing to pay for half, Your Honor.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Your Honor.
That's it.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Yeah, it's case number 570 in the matter of delay versus Peterson.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat, please.
Ms. DeLay, you and the defendant were friends throughout high school, and no quicker way to destroy a friendship very often than to become roommates in college. Two of you decided to share an apartment together. You signed a lease to a two-bedroom apartment. It didn't work out, and you both moved out.
Correct.
You paid the transfer fee, allowing each of you to move into a one-bedroom apartment. You want Ms. Peterson to be responsible for half of that transfer fee, plus her part of the cable bill that you say was in your name.
Yes.
Ms. Peterson says that your behavior and things that went on in the apartment made it impossible to stay there. She says that you wanted to move out, so you pay the transfer fee. And as far as the cable is concerned, she says you put a password on there that precluded her from using the internet and cable. She has no intention of paying it. She's counterclaiming for some nonsense. She wants you to return all the rent she paid because she didn't have a good time. Well, that's about what it is. So that's ridiculous. But I'll let you explain it to me in a very short period of time.
Okay.
Okay. When did you move into the apartment?
We signed the lease July 8th, and I moved in July 8th.
And Ms. Peterson moved in 2 months later?
Correct.
Okay. When did you sign the transfer agreement?
I don't have the exact date, but it was end of January. I moved into my new apartment, I believe, end of January, early February.
All right. So that Ms. Peterson lived there September, October, November, December. And when did you move out?
I moved out on the 16th of January.
Now, you're going to explain to me, Ms. Peterson, why you are not responsible for 1/2 of the transfer fee that permitted the two of you to go your separate ways. You were both unhappy, correct?
Yes.
Both unhappy. You explain to me why you should not be responsible for half that transfer fee.
Okay. Back in July, in the summer, Veronica expressed to me that she wanted me to find a new roommate to cover her half of the lease. And I went forward with that, and I found a roommate.
In July?
In July, before we were even living together, because of the cable internet bill, because I said I wasn't going to pay it. Because I didn't need it. I don't watch TV, and I had friends who were moving upstairs who said I could use their internet or I could go down to the common room where they offer it for free. So I found a roommate, and in the end of August, the first weekend before school, I spoke to Veronica, and she said, "Oh, I'm not moving out anymore." So.
And in September you stayed?
I did, because I had
Fine.
no choice.
Fine, you stayed.
Right.
But things were not good.
No. In November, I moved most of my things upstairs to my friend's apartment, and I was hardly ever at the apartment. If I was, I locked myself in my room because I didn't feel comfortable with her and her boyfriend being there all the time. I was scared, and I felt harassed and threatened by her.
Listen to me. Then you should be very happy that she said, let's sign off on this lease and it'll cost us each $600.
Well,
and then we're out of each other's hair.
Well, at that point, I was so frustrated with everything I had been put through that...
Get unfrustrated. Get unfrustrated and grow up. It wasn't good. It wasn't a good situation.
Well, can I say something?
Yeah, say whatever you want to say.
My mom and my father and I all discussed commuting because we didn't want to give Veronica any more money. I had paid for her boyfriend to sleep over multiple times. I was never there.
Listen to me.
It was like having a third roommate, though.
I don't care. Listen, your parents care if you're unhappy.
Right.
Your parents care. Courts don't care if you're unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
Courts don't care if you don't like her boyfriend sleeping over. They don't care.
Well, there's a clause in the lease that says that no person can stay more than 14 nights, and I kept track on a calendar, and it exceeded the 14 nights, and we got a possible eviction notice from it.
Yeah.
Your Honor,
Just a second.
Okay.
All of that suggests to me that you should be very happy to find a new place all by yourself.
I wasn't even living there, though, at that point.
That's your choice.
Right.
That's your choice. What do you want?
I wanted to say something on Elizabeth's defense, Your Honor.
That?
I'm her mother, and on December 16th, my husband and I went into the Peninsula. We hooked up the cable and the TV and the DVD player. And
because Veronica would no longer
just
let
a
me use
second.
hers.
Right. Elizabeth wasn't able to use it. We went downstairs and we met with the Peninsula management, and we wanted Veronica to sign off the lease. That's what we needed, so we wouldn't be responsible for the apartment any longer. And what we were going to do was have Elizabeth commute. So there was no reason for us to pay a transfer fee. But Veronica is the one that wanted to move out. She wanted her own apartment. And yes, we did want that too.
Your daughter wasn't staying there. She wasn't staying there because she was unhappy. Either she breaks the lease or she signs a transfer agreement. Those are the options.
But that was the option for Veronica too. She could have broken the lease.
Just to say, she could have. This is a much better thing to do rather than breaking the lease, to sign an orderly transfer agreement so that the landlord doesn't say, I'm stuck because they broke the lease. What I want to do is I want to move into another place. This is what it's going to cost. Otherwise, I'm on the hook for the entire year lease from January until the following June.
But I didn't trust that Veronica would do anything. She hadn't done it in the past.
I don't care what you trusted. Right now, it's a fait accompli. It's done. Your daughter is responsible for half the transfer fee on the apartment. There's no issue with regard to that. The only issue that I have for you, Ms. DeLea, is did you have a password or any device that precluded the defendant from using the internet and or cable?
I had a password.
Just a second. That's either a yes or a no.
On the internet, yes.
Did she say to you at any point, I'm not interested in cable?
She told me in November.
That's either a yes or a no.
In November, yes.
What month's cable do you think she's responsible for half of?
September through January.
She's not.
Okay.
She's not responsible for any of those.
Your Honor, she disconnected my cable in December, and even though I was still paying for it, prevented me from watching it.
I don't care. There has to be a contract. There has to be an agreement.
Your Honor, I have
Listen to me very carefully.
Yes, ma'am.
There has to be a contract and an agreement.
I have one.
For
I
whom?
have an email, her writing that she would be responsible for half of all the cable and internet and electric bills.
Just a second. Did you tell me that you put a password so she could not use the internet?
There was a password on it originally, but... Excuse me.
I'm asking your daughter a question. Sit. You too.
Veronica DeLay says her former roommate, Elizabeth Peterson, owes for cable bills and an apartment transfer fee. Elizabeth is countersuing for the return of rent and harassment.
I'm asking whether she told you she wasn't going to use the internet, and you put a password on there that precluded her from tapping into the internet in your apartment.
I was required to put a password on the internet from the beginning, so yes, there was a password.
Did she have it?
No, ma'am.
Then she's not responsible for it.
Okay.
But she's responsible for half the transfer fee.
I just have...
Put your hand down.
Okay.
Stop being a baby. That's what you're responsible for. Just tell me what half the transfer fee is.
Half the transfer is $625.
Fine. You owe her $625 for that. Now, you want to give me your counterclaim in 30 seconds or less?
I have a breakdown of the
I'm not
counterclaim.
interested in your breakdown. Yeah, you have 30 seconds or less to tell me about your counterclaim, which is nonsense.
Well, my countersuit was because Veronica was using drugs in the apartment, and I'm on a full scholarship at my school, and that really, I could have lost my scholarship if we got caught, if she got caught at the apartment because we both signed the lease.
But you didn't.
No, we didn't. But one of the security guards approached me saying that he smelled.
You can't tell me anything that a security guard told you.
I have a report from him.
You can't tell me anything that anybody else said to you or wrote out in a statement that is hearsay. Do you have a police report?
I talked to the lieutenant of the police station because the security guard had him come down.
That's hearsay.
Well, I called and they didn't have a report. I was very surprised.
Listen, you happy now with your new roommates?
Yes, but I'm unhappy that my scholarship was in jeopardy. And it was like having a third roommate there at the apartment.
My dear, did you lose your scholarship?
No.
Good. You owe her $625 transfer fee and your counterclaim's dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She demanded that I had to ask her permission for every visitor.
But I asked just in case I had a test the next day because the walls are paper thin, you can hear everything through them.
We had to divide the cabinets in the kitchen.
I asked for one cabinet to put all my snacks in because I eat all organic.
I don't know. She just went crazy, pretty much.
She just doesn't care, so I'm going to live with people who aren't as selfish.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Polk versus Eskine. Step forward, please.
Victor Polk is suing the mother of his son's friend, Renata Eskine, for the cost to fix his car. Victor says Renata's son, 17-year-old Kerry Thomas, damaged the vehicle when he tried to jump over it.
Who jumped over the car? Raise your hand.
I did.
Stand over there. Mr. Polk, it is your claim that the defendant damaged your car.
Yes, ma'am.
He was playing a game with your son. I assume your son is sitting over there?
Yes, ma'am. That's Valentina.
And the game was to jump over your car.
Yeah.
Mrs. Eskine's son jumped over your car, landed on your car, dented your car. You want him to pay for your car.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mrs. Eskine has some ridiculous defense. She says that your son goaded her son into jumping over the car.
That's correct.
That's wrong. Nobody goads somebody into doing something that's wrong and doesn't take responsibility.
He took responsibility.
Then he has to take responsibility for paying for the damage that he caused to the car. Reasonable?
Reasonable.
Great. So the only question is how much, right?
No, ma'am.
Why?
Because he didn't jump it alone, and he wasn't involved in it alone. They did it together. Both parents are both.
Just a second, Miss Eskine, are you telling me that this young man jumped on and damaged the car?
Yes.
Okay, you, talk to me.
Tell him.
You, talk to me.
Well, we were outside one October night. Me,
Listen,
him, and so.
I don't care if it was an October night, whether it was starry or not. All I want to know is you, an idiot over here, were playing a game of jumping over a car. Which idiot fell on the car?
I slid into the car.
Not him.
No, ma'am.
Then your mother is wrong. Put your hand down. Miss Eskine, I'm telling you what the law is. That's why you're here. Not what you feel in your gut as a mother. What the law is. He was lucky. He didn't cause damage to the car. He wasn't lucky. He did cause damage to the car.
The mother caused damage also.
No, my dear, not according to your son. I don't have your listening ears on. Not according to your son. According to your son, the only one that went into the car, slid into the car, was him. That's what he told me. So your thinking process, while understandable that the boys are playing and they should both be responsible, is not what the law is. The law does not prescribe that he has to pay for damage that he did, because he can say, no, I'm not doing it. You want to do it to your father's car? That's fine. No, I'm not doing it. And if he didn't do it, then there wouldn't be damage to the car. Is that right, Mr. Eskind?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The only question I have for you...
Yes, I'm not finished, Your Honor.
You're finished. The only question I have for you, sir, is, I looked very carefully at your complaint. You said that initially it wasn't such a big deal, but then you realized that you had just had the car in a custom paint job.
Yes, ma'am.
Because it's a designer car. What kind of car is it?
Vintage 1991 Ford Mustang 5.0 convertible.
Okay. This incident happened on what date?
We don't have a date.
What date?
October the 10th.
I want to see the bill for painting the car prior to October 10th.
My initial paint job, my painter.
Don't give me a big story.
I don't have
Mr. Polk.
I don't have the receipt.
That's my problem.
The painter that painted my car, his name's Carlos. He's in America on a work visa from Mexico. I went back to Carlos to see if he could get me a receipt. Our business was cash-based, so therefore he did not...
Show me a withdrawal from your bank for $2,300.
I don't have a withdrawal receipt.
I don't believe you, sir. Then I don't believe that you spent $2,300 to paint your car. That's my problem. Got what I mean? I want to see a picture of the damage to the car.
Sure. These are before and after pictures. If you take a look at the paint job on that car, you'll see that it's an immaculate paint job.
It may be an immaculate paint job, sir. You should have gotten me a receipt.
Why is it in the front yard?
Just a second. I'm not speaking to you.
I was showing it off.
Put your hand down.
I'm proud of my car.
Why is it in the front yard?
Well, this whole fender has to be painted. There's no question about that. And it has to be fixed. There's a dent in it. Now I'll see your estimate to fix it. Oh, so this time you took it to a Chevrolet place?
Yes.
The first time you took it to an all-cash guy?
Carlos is no longer in Nashville, in my hometown.
Yeah, you're going to have to get it done for less. What do you want?
Your Honor, he's been working on this car for 5 years. He redid the inside of it.
I've gotten more than $10,000.
Let me ask you this question, sir. Did you discuss with your child the game he was playing over your car?
Oh, yes, I did.
I want you to tell me about the discussion that you were having with the idiot about jumping over the car.
I told him that it was a ridiculous thing to do.
And what did he say to you?
He said he wasn't thinking. And that's the only explanation. Would you like to get up and tell her?
Yes, ma'am. Can I get up there and talk to you quick?
Oh, be my pleasure.
Oh. Well, first place, I didn't jump over the car at all. Like, I'm sorry. But the whole thing started, like, when we were playing basketball.
If you say anything, a sentence with the word like in it, you can sit down.
Okay. This is what happened. We started playing basketball, and I bet him. I was like, I bet you I can jump over my dad's car.
Sit down. I don't want to hear anymore. You're an idiot.
Man, can I finish real quick?
Sit down. Just sit down. Mrs. Eskind has to pay for your car, sir, but she's not going to pay any more for the car than I think it's worth, because I don't think that you have to have the whole car repainted.
You do not understand how much time and effort and money I've sunk into this car.
Your son should have been more careful with it.
I cannot.
Listen to me. Your son should have been more careful with it.
I understand that.
Good. Shouldn't have been playing basketball around it. You think it would have gotten dented if a basketball hit it?
That's why I don't let them play basketball near my car.
It was right in the yard by the street.
Did I ask you anything? You're responsible because he's responsible. He's bigger than you are.
I never said I wasn't.
Good. Okay, now what's the piece of paper you want to show me?
This is the very first estimate he brought to me.
That I'll see.
On the night of the election, of the president election. I told him I did not mind working with him on half of those damages.
So is what you're telling me that the first estimate is just Price's Collision Center was $614.42.
Correct.
This is what he gave you first.
Yes.
Can you explain the disparity to me, sir, between $614.42 and the $2,300 you want now?
That is just for replacement of the fender. It is not for matching of the paint or anything like that.
That's not true. It says
she told
paint.
me on our
That's
initial.
not true. But
She
that's
told-
not. Hey, that's not true. It says paint, labor, 3.4 hours at $38 an hour, $129. Body labor, 3 hours, $114. Parts, $219. It has everything here. It all adds up to $614.42.
The car could not be painted on
I
just
don't
the
know
fender.
that, sir, at all. That's
I
your
never
first
received
estimate.
that.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $614.42. That's all.
Parties are actually on the calendar in the matter of Schwartfeger versus Day. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Schwartfeger?
That's correct.
How old are you, sir?
22.
Bert, I want you to pay careful attention. We're going to go over this scorecard so that you know who the players are in this case.
Gotcha.
Because I have a feeling it's going to be interesting. Who is this young lady?
That is my girlfriend, Sarah Buckley.
What does she have to do with this case?
She is a witness to the harassment, the vandalism to my vehicle, and she's also known the defendant and his daughters for about 5 to 6 years.
How long have you been his girlfriend?
Since November.
So a short-term girlfriend.
Yes.
Mr. Day, these are your 2 daughters.
That's correct.
Your name is?
Samantha.
How old are you, Samantha?
17.
And your name?
Kathleen.
How old are you, Kathleen?
22.
Kathleen, why don't you stand up next to your dad for a minute? Because we're going to get this whole scenario down here. Kathleen, you used to be his girlfriend, is that right?
Yes.
For how long were you his girlfriend?
Almost 4 years.
You have children with him?
2.
How old are your 2 children?
One just turned 3 and one's about 18 months.
Did you live together for a period of time?
Yeah.
For how long?
About 3 of those 4 years.
And how old were you when you started to live with him?
18.
Now you can sit down.
Thank you.
I may come back to you, but right now you can sit. This is what your lawsuit's about, William. According to you, you were being a good Samaritan. And at some point, you took in Mr. Day's younger daughter
That's correct.
into your home because you say she was having some trouble with her dad.
Both parents, Your Honor.
Both parents.
Yes.
Now, at the time that you took her into your house, were you still living with Kathleen?
No, I wasn't.
So Kathleen wasn't living with you anymore with your 2 children. She had left you. You had parted ways.
Right.
But Samantha came to live with you, and at that time, Samantha was 16.
That's right.
Mr. Day didn't like that.
Not at all, ma'am.
You didn't like what happened with your first daughter,
That's correct.
and you for sure didn't like what happened with your second daughter.
That's very correct.
So what did you do, Mr. Day,
Well, Mr. Shortfigure hit Samantha in the mouth.
after she was living with him?
Yes.
Okay, let's stop there for a moment. What date did your daughter leave your home?
April 13th.
Of 2003?
Yes. It wasn't my home. She was still with her mother at that time.
You and her mother are separated?
Yes.
In any event, this is what your lawsuit is about, William. Your lawsuit says that Mr. Day filed false charges against you for child endangerment, protective orders, causing you to have to hire an attorney, legal fees, and everything that he said about you was false, and you want to be compensated to the tune of $1,954.
That's correct.
Mr. Day, just for good measure, says, well, he wants some money too because you caused him to lose work and attorney's fees because he had to hire an attorney in order to get certain orders reinstated. He wants some money. I think most of what he wants is satisfaction.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, William, tell me about when Kathleen left your house with your 2 children.
We were living together until December of 2002, I believe.
And how old were your children at that point?
The one was 3 months, and the other one was a little over 2 years old. Or, I'm sorry, she had not turned 2 yet.
And why did she leave?
We were having problems in our relationship. We've had an on and off relationship for the last 4.5 to 5 years, so...
It was during the odd periods that you had these children?
Yeah,
Was it an amicable breakup?
pretty much.
And you continue to see the children?
Yes, on a regular
And-
basis.
And you continue to support the children?
That's right. I pay child support every week.
For both children?
That's right.
Okay. And where did Kathleen go when she left?
Actually, she stayed in the apartment that we shared.
And you left?
That's right.
So far, is that correct, Kathleen?
No.
Well, why don't you come up here and tell me what happened? Because this is all very important as far as Mr. Day's state of mind when he filed his complaints. When did you and William separate?
December of 2002.
Under what circumstances?
He was sleeping with my sister.
And how did you find that out, Kathleen?
I found notes.
Did you keep the notes?
My mom has them right now.
You get along with your mother?
Yeah.
Should have brought the notes to court.
I know, she won't give them to me. She said it's an embarrassment to our children.
What did the notes say? First of all, who wrote the notes?
He did.
Remember what they said?
It said Samantha down the side. It said sexy, amazing, mind-blowing, awesome, naughty, terrific, hot, and a dream come true.
Did you confront William with the note?
Yes.
What did he say?
He said they wrote it as a joke, together.
And when was that?
About 2 weeks before Christmas, December 2002.
You remember that conversation, William?
Yes, I do.
So you told Kathleen, the mother of your 2 children, that the note that you wrote that talked about sexy, naughty, etc., with regard to her sister, her 16-year-old sister, were just joking around.
Well, I write a lot of poetry. And
Joking around.
Yeah.
That's what you told her.
Yeah, I said we wrote it together. Yes.
Oh. Shh, please. You left.
I left for the day, but I stayed in the apartment. I asked him to leave.
And did he leave?
He left after a few days.
And that was in December?
That's correct.
When did Samantha come to live with you, sir?
In April of 2003.
And where were you living at the time?
I just got an apartment, and I had an extra bedroom, so I figured, you know.
How did Samantha know that you had an extra bedroom?
Well, we stayed in contact. Kathleen and I weren't talking at the time, so I used Samantha as a mediator to, you know, see my children and to make sure that they were doing okay.
You said you saw your children regularly, so what do you mean you needed a mediator?
Well, at first, the visitation wasn't every weekend like it is now. Like I said, Kathleen and I weren't on speaking terms at that time.
You weren't on speaking terms because she believed that you were having intimate relations with a 16-year-old sister. That a fair statement?
Yeah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You made 2 babies with one of his children, and then his daughter finds out that you're messing around with her 16-year-old sister. The 2 sisters, you know, like you live in Utah.
And later today,
You were together. You went on vacations together. You slept together, intimately involved with each other for
Right.
all that time.
Right.
Get a life, sir.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. William Joe Schwartfager says his ex-girlfriend's father, Warren Day, owes for attorney fees and harassment. Warren says after William broke up with Kathleen, he had an affair with her 16-year-old sister.
Now tell me what Mr. Day did with regard to his 16-year-old daughter moving in with you.
Nothing at first. Samantha and Mr. Day weren't on speaking terms when it first happened.
She was living with her mother.
That's right, and she was having problems with her mother. She was, you know, living in and out of her friend's house, you know, running away from her house, not going to school, stuff like that.
Between December and April, did you see Samantha?
We met up a couple times.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
How many times would you estimate you saw Samantha?
About once a week, maybe.
Could it have been twice a week?
It wasn't like everyday basis that she was over at where I was at, but...
I didn't say every day,
Well-
William. You said once a week. And what I said to you is, could it have been twice a week?
It might have been a couple weeks that she came over more than once, yes.
And when she would come over, would she stay for an hour or two?
She'd stay for a couple hours.
And what would you do when she came over?
We'd hang out with the kids, talk about when the next time I get to see them, you know, where we were going to meet to get the kids and everything else, so...
When did Mr. Day file the first of his protective orders?
In July.
You have a copy of it?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please.
This paper is also the ruling after the
Just
case.
a second. So he filed a protective order indicating that in July you hit Samantha in the mouth.
That's right.
July 2003, Samantha. Were you living with William at the time?
Yes.
Did he hit you in the mouth?
Yes.
Under what circumstances?
I came home and him and his friends had been drinking and we got into an argument. At that time, we went into the bedroom. He took me into the bedroom. His friends stayed in the other room and one thing led to another. He actually picked me up, threw me into the table, and that's how I busted my lip open.
So he didn't hit you in the mouth, he picked you up and threw you into a table, which caused you to hurt your lip. And what did you do in July when he did that to you?
Well, we kept fighting. He actually left. I called my friends to come get me because he took my keys and threw them in the dumpster. And he came back, and he was being very rude to my friends, and then I left. And then 2 days later, I think, is when they actually filed the protection order.
Where were you living at the time?
I was living with Joe, but I was staying with my friend Stephanie after we got in an argument.
So you were living with him?
Yes.
What kind of an apartment did he have?
It was a 2-bedroom apartment.
Who else lived there?
Just me and him.
Did you have your own bedroom?
No.
Did you share the bedroom with him?
Yes.
For how long?
Ever since we moved in. We actually got the apartment together. He didn't have it when we're together.
You went to court in August of 2003. Do you remember going to court in August of 2003? Yes. Did the judge ask you any questions?
Yes.
Why did you lie to the judge?
Because I thought that I was in love, and I was scared. He told me what to say, and I said what he said to say.
Had you gone back to him at the time?
We were on a restraining order, so we couldn't see each other, but yeah, we were still together.
Were you speaking to him?
Not during the protection order.
Did you tell your father that you were going to not tell the truth when the judge asked you questions?
Yes.
What did he say?
Not much. He told me I better tell the truth.
Is that right, sir?
That is correct, ma'am.
When your 16-year-old daughter got to court, you didn't tell the truth. Is that right?
That's correct.
And this, William, is what you're really suing over, this case that was dismissed.
Yeah, that's part of the lawsuit, yes.
Tell me what the other part is.
In February, he filed another protective order against me. Samantha had moved out in late October, and I didn't understand why he was...
So she came back to you after this original protective order, and she moved out again in late October?
That's right. She moved back into my house probably about a month after the case, and then she quit her job, stopped going to school, and those were, I told her if she was going to live with me, she had to keep her job, go to school. And then later on, my car got vandalized.
Who do you think vandalized your car, sir?
Samantha. We do have audio tapes that were gone over by the county attorney.
Don't tell me what audio tapes were gone over by anybody else, sir. That's hearsay.
Okay.
Do you have any witness to Samantha vandalizing your car?
Samantha's older sister, Kathleen, she was the one that actually told me that it was Samantha that vandalized my car.
No.
What did you say to him?
I said it wasn't my brother, and it wasn't my sister.
Well, I don't know.
There's a lot of people that hate you, so.
Yeah. I can think of 3 right there. Maybe 4. William, I'm going to tell you a word that you probably don't know. Interestingly enough, Officer Byrd knows this word, because when I say the word, he's going to understand, as will a lot of other people, because I'm going to explain the word to you. The word, William, is chutzpah. Do you know what chutzpah means, Byrd?
Sure.
Chutzpah means nerve. You got a lot of nerve to put on a suit and tie, bring your girlfriend into a court to sue this man after you made 2 babies with one of his children, irresponsibly. Now, you're only partially responsible for that, but you're half responsible for that. And then his daughter finds out that you're messing around with her 16-year-old sister, and she leaves you. Or you leave. She tells you to leave. And then you invite her 16-year-old sister to move into your house, the 2 sisters, like you live in Utah. And then you have the chutzpah to sue him as a parent for getting angry with you because his daughter tells him, not only am I sleeping with him, but he picked me up, he got angry when he was drinking, threw me against the table, and split my lip.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. William Joe Schwartfager says his ex-girlfriend's father, Warren Day, owes for attorney fees and harassment. Warren says after William broke up with Kathleen, he had an affair with her 16-year-old sister.
You have a daughter, sir?
Yes, I got 3 daughters.
All right. You have 2 daughters?
3.
3?
Yes.
Who's the 3rd?
My oldest daughter, she's 7, but she's not by the day frame.
And how old are you, 22?
That's right.
You better get a lock for it.
That's already been fixed, Your Honor.
William, I don't want to look at you for another second. Your case is dismissed. Mr. Day, have you gotten the satisfaction that you wanted?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't need a counterclaim, do you?
No, I don't really know.
Very good. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It's been hard. It's been hard for me not to do something else besides go to court on it. It really has.
I was just trying to get the attorney bills that Mr. Day has racked up on my behalf, you know, cleared up.
This man has been like a dingleberry on my butt.
It didn't destroy any credibility. It's another day.
He doesn't think about other people's feelings, how he hurt me, how he hurt her, and how he's probably going to hurt Sarah, too.
She was like a little sister to me the whole time.
He could talk the panties off a nun.
The girl that's with him right now, Sarah Buckley,
Is my best friend.
and used to live in my house as my third, like, adopted daughter.
So he's on the third one now.
Yeah.
We're actually a lot closer than we were, and we just really hate him now.
Everybody makes mistakes. Yeah, this is her freebie. If she does it again, then it's done.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Nunez versus Channing. Step forward.
Cell phone salesman Ruben Nunez is suing his ex-girlfriend, 25-year-old medical technician Tamara Channing, for crashing his SUV.
How old are you, Mr. Nunez?
32.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm in sales.
How long have you been working in sales?
10 years, but I've been with my current company for 7.
You have family?
Yes, I do.
What kind of family do you have?
I am a single parent of a little boy and a little girl.
They live with you?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so you're busy.
I'm currently busy. Yes, I'm always
so
busy.
you have a full-time job?
Yes.
And you take care of 2 kids?
Yes.
The reason I'm asking you these questions, sir, is I'm wondering why you're here. Because your complaint says that 2 years ago you were dating the defendant. She asked if she could borrow your car. She borrowed your car 2 years ago and had an accident. So my question is to myself, do you have nothing else to do in your life? In the 2 years that passed between the crashing of your truck that she had borrowed and now, why didn't you pursue your claim?
Well, Your Honor, she was unemployed, for one. She was going to school, and she just graduated currently in November of 2003.
Yeah?
And she barely got a full-time in February of this year.
Okay. Now, Miss Channing, you borrowed his truck. You had been driving it for a while. You crashed. You had an accident. The accident was your fault. There was some damage to the other car. The other car driver was paid with money that he initially wrote out, but you paid him back that money. That she paid you back, right?
Yes.
This money you said she didn't pay you back. That was to fix the truck. Now, this was in December of 2002
Right.
that you crashed the car. You weren't living together, were you?
No, we weren't.
But you were dating.
Right.
Now, after December of 2002, did you continue to date?
Yes.
Was your dating relationship a heavy dating relationship?
Yes,
were
it
you heavily
was.
involved?
Yes, we were. We were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Were you intimately involved?
Yes.
And when did that relationship end?
It ended in January of this year.
So between December of 2002 and January of 2004, you were together. You went on vacations together.
Right.
You slept together.
Right.
Intimately involved with each other for
Right.
all that time.
Right.
Get a life, sir. Get a life.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen to me. If somebody owes you money, you pursue that claim immediately. If the relationship hadn't terminated in 2004, you wouldn't be here today. Is that right?
Incorrect.
No, you would not be here today. If the relationship proceeded and you married the defendant, which I assume was your intention and her intention, if you were boyfriend and girlfriend, that it was going to go into a formalized relationship. And if that had happened, we wouldn't be here today. And the only reason you're here today, sir, is because you're annoyed with her, relationship's over. You say, now I want the money from 2 years ago when you had an accident with my car and it cost me $900 to fix it. Get a life, Mr. Nunez.
Versus Frazier. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Miss Alligood, Mr. Frazier, according to what I read in your complaint, was your former boyfriend.
Yes.
And you have a child together.
Right.
You also lived together for a period of time.
Correct.
And it is your claim that after you decided to separate, you had an agreement with him that he would share all of the child care expenses with you.
Right.
And he did so for a while and then stopped.
Correct.
Now, he has never been adjudicated the father of this child in any court, so you do have an appointment, according to your complaint, in the family court to have an order of support entered.
Correct.
But he has not paid you in some time, and you want him to pay what he promised to pay, which is half the child's expenses.
Correct.
Mr. Frazier says that he tried to do the right thing, that you did have an agreement with him.
Yes, ma'am.
And the agreement was that he would split right down the middle child's expenses. He did do that for a while, but then he says that you stopped letting him see his daughter, and that also was part of the agreement, that he was going to see the child a certain number of days. You stopped letting him visit the days he was supposed to. He stopped paying. When you start letting him visit, he'll start paying.
Yes, ma'am.
And he's counterclaiming because he says that you're angry that he's got a new girlfriend and you've been harassing him.
That's correct.
Go find out. When did you live together, Miss Alligood?
I moved in about July of '02.
And how long did you stay together?
We were off and on for till May of '04.
When was the baby born?
March of '03.
Now let's get to this agreement that you had with regard to support.
Okay.
You do understand, Miss Alligood, that until Mr. Frazier is legally declared the father of this child, he doesn't have any legal responsibility. The only way he does have a legal obligation is if the two of you made a contract. Okay. And that contract can be a verbal contract, that after you separated, he would pay half, which according to both of you, he did.
Okay.
The issue is whether you breached the contract by not letting him see his daughter, because that was also, according to both of you, one of the terms of the oral contract. He got to visit, spend a certain amount of time with his daughter, and he was going to pay half of her support. He says you stopped letting him see her. Why did you do that?
Every time I called over there to speak to her, he always had friends over. They were drinking. I didn't want my daughter in that environment. I know when we were together, he was drinking every night, and when I left, he was always drinking.
So, Miss Alligood, when you made this arrangement with him to visit, according to you, when he lived with you, he drank every night.
Right, but when she went over there, I never seen him really drink toward the beginning, and then all of a sudden he started hanging out with his friends again, and he was always drinking, and I didn't like my daughter around that environment.
So now what you're saying is, when he was living with you, he was drinking.
Right.
But then when he left you, he stopped drinking.
No, he wasn't
and then
drinking
he started
as much.
again.
He wasn't drinking as much.
Something doesn't sound right, my dear. When did the new girlfriend come into the picture?
About 2.5 months ago, Your Honor.
And when did the visiting stop?
About 2 months ago, Your Honor.
That's not true.
Yes,
it
it
was
is.
only 4 weeks ago. I have proof. It was only about 4 weeks ago.
4 weeks ago was what?
When I found out that he was trying to get full custody of her.
Oh, there you go. And I assume, Miss Alligood, that that is going to be entertained by the court, who is going to be the primary physical caregiver for this child. Is that what's before the family court?
I haven't even went that far yet, Your Honor. The only thing I've did so far, I actually went down and put myself on child support. I done filed the paperwork for it and to put
You don't
myself
have to show
on
me
that.
papers. Did you have an oral contract that provided he would take care of half the child's expenses?
Right.
And he would see the child half the time?
Right.
And you stopped him from seeing the child half the time?
Right.
So he stopped paying support?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Now, a court's going to have to decide, once there is an order of affiliation, an order of support, and who's going to have custody and who's going to have visitation. He would have continued to pay you, which he had been doing since you separated, if you hadn't terminated his visitation. Can't do that. Now, you want to tell me about the harassment?
Okay, on 6/19/04, I was having a get-together with some friends at my house, and Miss Alligood decided to come to my house, and I told her to leave. She refused to leave. I went back inside. She was outside blowing the horn constantly, just blowing it, blowing it, blowing it. I go out front to tell her to leave.
Where was the baby?
She wasn't with her at the moment. She was left her at somewhere. I don't know where she left her at.
She was with you.
So she kept blowing the horn. I come out there and, would you please leave? That's when she proceeded to ask me who's in the house. I said, it's not your business who's in my house. You don't live here anymore. So then that's when she proceeded to say, oh, is that somebody you're doing? She didn't say it that way. I said, yeah, Nicole, it is. And by then, that's when she opened her door and shoved it against me and hit me in my knee real bad. Then sheriff was sitting in the park across from where we were. Right when she did that, the sheriff comes up, asked what was going on, and I told her. She asked me, did I want to put a trespassing warrant against Nicole? I said, yes, I do. So she wrote her a trespassing warrant. Told her not to come back. Yes, ma'am. And as she had Nicole sign that, Nicole balled it up and threw it on the ground and left.
Why did you go over there on the 19th?
I went to go pick up my child.
I don't believe that. Because if that's the case, then the police would not have indicated that you were not to return to the property. If you've been over there and said, he has my child, he is not legally the father of this child, there's something going on in that house, the sheriff would not have issued you this trespass warning.
I did say that. And the lady told him to go in there and get the baby, get all her stuff, and put her in her car. And Jeff, you can't say that she was over there because she was, and then you scratched me, and then...
That's why I drank, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You don't take care of your children, Mr. Frazier, if you're not there to raise them. You have to find some other use for your organ.
And later today,
I turned around and there's a pit bull just charging towards me from about 150 feet away. It was very aggressive, very dominant posture. Quite frankly, I was terrified.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Nicole Allagood says the father of her child, Jeff Frazier, owes for child care expenses. Jeff claims Nicole won't let him see his daughter.
Why did you go over there?
I went over to pick up my
listen to
child.
me. Were you supposed to? Is that what?
Yes.
Shh. What time was it that you went over there?
It was like 8:30, 9 o'clock somewhere.
At night?
Yes.
And why were you going there at 8:30 and 9 o'clock at night to pick up the child?
Because it was my night to have her. It was my night, my weekend, and he wasn't returning her. He wanted her to spend time with his friends, and when I called him to ask him if I can come pick her up, he said, that's fine, whatever, and hung up the phone on me. So I went over there to pick up my child. I pulled up, I beeped the horn for him to bring her out, and he said he's not bringing her out because she's sleeping. Well, why didn't you tell me that over the phone is what I said.
Okay.
And he said, I never told you to come over here. And I was like, that's not what you just told me on the phone. I'm here to pick up my child, now go in and get her.
Just a second. Are you telling me that that was your night to have the child? Or is this something that you decided that you wanted to do because you felt as if he was having a party in his house?
No, it was my night. When we normally switch her, it's in the evening, 7:30, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, sometimes in the morning on weekends.
What day of the week was this?
A Friday.
Was it supposed to be her weekend?
No, ma'am. She kept calling my house, Your Honor, aggravating me because she knew I had a get-together going on.
Where was the baby?
She was sleeping at the time.
So then you didn't tell me the truth before, sir.
Yeah, I forgot that was true, that I did have her at my house. I forgot about that, and that's why she came over after I hung up on her, and I told her that she was sleeping. She showed up anyway. She is correct on that, Your Honor.
All right, so incident number one, that's in her favor. She was supposed to come over. You expected her to come over. Mm-hmm. What's next?
Okay. The following day, after she got the trespassing warrant, I was at the fish store and I was trying to leave. I come outside and she's backed in right behind me, so I can't get out. I'm like, Nicole, please leave. I'm not going to argue with you. Well, why don't you want to talk to me? I don't want to argue, Nicole. So I try backing out. She pulls the truck up forward. So I backed out up on the curb and shot around her truck. As I was going out, she was coming down the main drag and just ran me right up on the curb. I got off the curb, got on the main highway. She was going behind me, coming in front of me, slamming on the brakes so I can hit her. I have a little MR2. She have a Ford Expedition 4x4. Swerving in my lane with my daughter in the car, in the back seat.
What happened, madam?
That's not true, Your Honor. I remember the next day I was with a friend of mine the whole day, and a friend of mine took pictures of my neck where he had scratched me from the night before.
I'm past the night before. I'm at the fish store.
I never went to the fish store.
Do you have a police report?
He did not write a report because she was not there at the time.
What's
she was not
next?
there. That's it.
Okay. Listen, you can't bother him. It's not good for you. It's not good for your daughter. Got to put a period. Got to make peace with him and move on. I'm not making a judgment as to whether or not you followed him on the 20th of June, the day after this incident. You probably did. But I'm certainly not going to make a big deal about it because I don't think it is a big deal. I think what you have to do is you have to stop. He's got a new girlfriend, he's got a new life. He's got, according to you, a whole bunch of other children that he had before he met you, right?
Right.
How many?
There's 4 that's older than mine and 1 that's younger.
So that you knew he had a track record?
I only knew 2.
2 was enough. You still knew he had a track record. When did you find out there were 5?
I found out about the twins right before I got pregnant, and I found out about the one right after we broke up, that he cheated on me and had the next.
Just a second. So you knew about 4 before you got pregnant?
Right, yeah.
You knew about 4. So you knew that this was not somebody who you could count on, because you could be sure that the other women who had these other children, and there were not just one woman, right?
Right.
Right. That they all thought that they were the one and only 2, just like she does.
No, I don't.
That's not my girlfriend, Your Honor.
I know.
She's not my girlfriend.
Perfect. She's the only smart one here.
Well, I do take care of my kids, Your Honor.
You don't take care of your children, Mr. Frazier, if you're not there to raise them.
Well, I try to see them, but they don't let me see them.
Mr. Frazier, you don't take care of your children if you're not there to raise them. You don't seed like you're a bee. You pollinate flowers and then move on. That's not being a father.
Yeah,
Do I make myself clear, sir? You have to find some other use for your organ. Your counterclaim, Mr. Frazier, is dismissed.
No problem.
That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The upsetting part that I can't see my daughter when I want to like it used to be.
He's not going to have a relationship with his daughter because he's going to choose not to.
What the future holds now, I don't know.
I actually would like to have a kind of open relationship to where if he wants his child, he can come get her, but I don't think it's going to happen.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Dinatelli versus Simonson, step forward, please.
Engineer J. Dinatelli is suing fellow dog owners, 23-year-old Jessica Simonson and her father, Eric Simonson, for injuries to his hand and legs. Jay says he suffered leash burns when Jessica's pit bull attacked his dogs.
Husband and wife?
Father-daughter.
Father-daughter. Never can tell. It's Hollywood. Whose dog is it?
He was mine.
What kind of dog was he?
Staffordshire Terrier.
That's pit bull?
Yes, ma'am.
And how long did you have him?
2 years.
Where is he now?
I'm assuming he was given to another home after I released him to the SPCA when I had to move and get rid of him.
You had to move from where to where?
From the house I was living in into a different house, which did not allow me to keep him.
So you don't know where he is?
Correct.
How old are you?
23.
What's your father doing here?
He's property owner where the incident happened.
Okay. So you're walking your dogs on a leash.
Yes, Your Honor.
And out from nowhere comes a pit bull.
Yes, Your Honor.
You were injured. You want to tell me how that happened?
Sure. As you know, I was walking my dogs on the levee, and suddenly my dogs alerted to something in back of me. I turned around, and there's a pit bull just charging towards me from about 150 feet away. It was very aggressive. It ran straight up to my dogs, tail straight in the air, very dominant posture, and quite frankly, I was terrified. I yelled at the dog to go home, paid no attention to me. About a minute later, I saw Miss Simonson emerge. She yelled something at her dog. The dog paid no attention to her. I yelled at her to control your dog, and at that point, she strolled towards us, which I found kind of amazing that she wasn't sprinting down the levee. She grabbed for the dog on 2 or 3 different occasions, and every time she reached down to grab her dog, it would scoot away, and in the scuffle, the leashes got wrapped around me, and that's how I got my injuries.
Tell me about your injuries.
The injuries were both to my hand and to both of my legs. They were burn-type injuries produced by the retractable leash. I've got photos of them if you'd like.
I'd like to see them.
I was wearing walking shorts at the time, so both of my legs were bare. The worst injury was the injury to my pinky finger, but they were all pretty bad injuries. It caused me a lot of pain for a week, and the injury to my hand took a full month to heal. I have a permanent scar right now.
Can I see it, please? Step up. I see it there, right here.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Frightening, scary, but you don't do hand commercials, right?
I'm a professor, so I lecture for a living, but no, I don't do hand commercials.
Okay.
You're right.
One of the other things I was interested in is that you indicate that when you made an investigation, you discovered that this was not the first complaint of this dog being out unattended.
That's correct, Your Honor.
You have any proof of that, sir?
Yes, I do.
When did this incident happen?
January 3rd of 2003, and those complaint reports show that there were 4 formal complaints filed against this dog and this owner within the previous 18 months.
Did you know that there had been prior violations filed, that the dog was out?
No, ma'am, I was not aware
But you
of that.
did?
I was not aware of 4 of them, no.
How many were you aware of?
2.
2's enough. This dog hurt somebody else in the same kind of circumstances. White pit bull jumped the fence this morning. The complainant fell back and injured back trying to keep the dogs apart.
I was in LA at the time.
Who cares where you were? All right, I'll hear you.
My version of what happened was I let my dog out to go to the bathroom.
What do you mean you let your dog out to go to the bathroom?
I opened the sliding glass door to let him out into the backyard.
How many violations had you had at that time? 2, according to you?
That I'm aware of, yes.
I don't care what your version is. You just answered your own question. You just resolved this lawsuit. This lawsuit says that you were negligent, careless, and as a result of that, he was injured. Don't you get it? You knew you had a dog that twice caused other people to call and register complaints, and instead of putting your pants on and putting the dog on a leash, you opened the door and let him out.
I was out there with him.
Who cares? Do you get it, Mr. Simonson?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Good, I'm glad you both get it.
However, I disagree that the dog is potentially vicious. This dog is
I don't care what you believe. The dog caused injury to him. Don't be a fool. The dog was not within the control of his owner.
I agree with that, Your Honor.
Perfect. I don't know whether or not your injuries are worth $5,000, which is what you're suing for, but their stupidity is worth $5,000. And the lesson to be learned is worth $5,000, that when you have a dog that is capable of causing serious physical injury or death, you don't open the door and let the dog out to go to the bathroom alone. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused.
Calendar in the matter of Connor Hardy versus Manley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
According to your complaint, Mr. Hardy, there came a time several months ago when your girlfriend discovered that her car had been hit. Nobody left any information as to the perpetrator of that hit and run, but you went on a sleuthing expedition in your neighborhood, and you came up with the defendant's car, and you found that there was damage to her car, same location, same color paint as happened to be on your car. When confronted, the defendant first acknowledged, then denied that someone else, I think you, were driving the car, but that wasn't their responsibility because although their car had been in an accident, you hit a
metal garbage can.
A metal garbage can, not her car. Later, which is the second part of your complaint, you claim that while acting very innocently, the defendant ran over you while you were on your bicycle, causing you medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering, et cetera, et cetera. So you want the damage to your car, you want all the aggravation medical bills as a result of being hit by the defendant with her car. When was your car hit?
December 23rd, I walked out of the house and noticed that my car had been sideswiped on the front swale.
You have a picture of the car?
Yes, ma'am.
How far do you live from each other?
I think we have about 5 or 6 homes between us.
How long have you lived there?
6 years.
And you?
5.
Never had any problem with each other before?
No.
Nasty.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of paint was on your car? Your paint and what other paint?
And a dark green paint.
Another dark green. Okay. What made you think, Mr. Hardy, that it was Miss Manley's car that caused the damage?
Well, on Christmas Eve, I took a walk down the street. We live on a dead-end street, so I knew if there was somebody on the street that damaged the car, there was a good possibility the car would be there. I walked down the street and saw the damaged vehicle in her carport. I knocked on her door.
Where was it damaged?
It is damaged on the front passenger side. We have the pictures.
It's on the side of the car.
Jill's car is parked on the swale with traffic. Her car was sideswiped on the driver's side, which means if a car was going down the street, most likely it would be on the passenger side damage.
What kind of car do you have?
A Lexus. I have my photos as well.
Can I see your car?
Yeah. I only have damage, a dent, 2 dents in the front side of my car. She has a swipe, and my car hit a metal dumpster at McDonald's.
Well, you don't know that. You weren't driving the car.
Yes, ma'am, that's true.
They told you that that's what happened?
Yes, ma'am, that's true.
Who was driving the car?
My uncle, Patrick.
You were with Patrick?
Yes.
Had you borrowed the car?
Yes.
When?
My mom had given it to us a couple days before Christmas to go to McDonald's because she was cooking.
So on the same date that Miss Connor's car was damaged?
I'm not positive.
Well, that's what it is. A couple of days before Christmas. Christmas comes the same time every year.
Thursday night.
That's December 25th.
It was at nighttime I gave him the car.
She said a couple of days before Christmas, which would have been the time that this happened. Whitney, when you came home, did you immediately tell your mother that you had been in an accident?
No, I didn't.
Did your uncle?
No, he didn't.
Why not?
Because we were afraid that we wouldn't get our Christmas gifts since it was right before Christmas. And we didn't want to upset her.
So how did you hide the car?
Well, at the time, my mom was driving my grandmother's new Dodge Ram truck. So the car was parked in the carport, and she doesn't usually have no reason to go on the side of the house, and she hasn't seen it.
So you concealed the fact that you were in this accident. Who owned the dumpster?
McDonald's.
Did you tell them that you hit their dumpster?
No, ma'am.
And how did that happen that the car hit the dumpster?
Well, as we were driving to the drive-in, we were arguing over the radio station, and he was like slapping my hand away from the radio station so I wouldn't change it. And I grabbed the wheel, and the car kind of swerved and hit the dumpster.
Now, let's leave that for a moment. When you approached Miss Manley, what did she say?
I knocked at the front door. I asked her, had her car been in an accident with my car on the street? She told me she had not driven the car in 4 days. I knew nothing about it. I asked her to come outside and look at her car.
Was she surprised?
Oh, she was very surprised to see the damage on her car. Called Whitney to the carport door. She asked Whitney if Whitney had driven the vehicle. Whitney said yes, she had driven the vehicle.
That's not true. That's not true.
Don't speak.
Sorry.
And that she had sideswiped my girlfriend's car on her way to McDonald's.
Listen to me.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, but that's not true. Okay.
What do you think? I don't hear? I heard what you said, and I told you to be quiet. You're going to have an opportunity to respond to him. Go ahead.
Whitney said yes, she had driven the car. She had hit Jill's car on the way to McDonald's. Stated that she was putting on her seatbelt at the time of the accident and had just swerved over and rubbed the car and was afraid to tell anybody.
Whitney doesn't even know how to drive.
Listen to me. It's my job to figure out who's telling the truth and who's not. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So what did you do?
I told her that I would like to call the police. Patrice said this is not a good idea to call the police because Whitney is not covered by her auto insurance, and she would be more than happy to just pay for the damages if I brought her an estimate. She wrote down her name and phone number.
Let me see it, please.
I left that on the door.
Listen to me. When it's your turn, you will speak.
Okay, I'm sorry.
This is her handwriting.
Yes, ma'am.
And you wrote down your name and phone number.
Yes.
And put it on his door.
Yes.
For what reason?
Because I had to talk with her on what happened because she never said anything when he came. He asked her, I asked her, did she know about an accident to her car? Whitney said no. Okay, after that point, she didn't say anything else. So therefore, while he was there, if I was going to write down all that information, I would have given him my insurance and other papers.
No, that's not true, madam.
Why?
You usually don't get an opportunity for me to answer your questions, but I'm going to do it for you because you seem to be speaking out of turn. And maybe if I explain to you why you would give him your phone number instead of your insurance information, you will understand. Because what he says is that your daughter said, yes, she drove the car, she had an accident, which sounds right to me, that you said, don't call the police because my insurance isn't going to cover her because she's only 15. Give me an estimate and we'll pay for it. And you gave him your phone number. That's a logical explanation. Say nothing, because I've answered you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
As I went to the car, he started calling me all these words. He kicked the car door, and he said I messed with the wrong cracker.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Greg Hardy and his girlfriend Jill Connor say their neighbor, 15-year-old Whitney Manley, sideswiped their car. The couple also claims Whitney's mother, Patrice Manley, ran over Greg's bicycle.
You gave her the estimate, and what happened?
She said that the estimate is too much and that she wasn't going to pay for it, and she told me do what I have to do, and that was it.
Did she come to your house with an estimate?
Yes, she came to my house.
Right.
She said she knew it was me. Sorry.
That's all. There would have been no reason for you to go to her house with an estimate unless she had said to you, bring me an estimate. Right? Right. If her daughter had denied hitting your car and having an uncle hit some trash bin on the same day, there would have been no reason for you, unless you're psychotic, to bring her an estimate, right? Right. Now let us hop over to what you did later on the bike.
Sunday, we believe January 9th, she brought the estimate down to Patrice. Patrice said she was not going to pay for it. It was too much money. Do what we have to do. We called the police officers back down because we have a hit-and-run report from the first incident.
I'd like to see it, please.
The officer went down there, spoke with Patrice, stated that since she agreed to pay for it...
Don't tell me what the officer said.
That's true.
Okay.
No, that's hearsay. I
Okay.
just want to see whether the report was made on the 23rd.
When they went to McDonald's, it was on the 23rd that evening.
Let me explain something to you, madam. I don't believe your daughter. I don't believe your daughter didn't drive the car and hit Jill's car. I believe that that's exactly what she did. And I believe that she acknowledged that the day that he... listen to me. I believe she acknowledged that to him.
She did.
And I believe the story that she's telling me now with hitting a dumpster in a McDonald's parking lot is a whole lot of who shot John. Because coincidences sometimes happen in this world. But if there's a more logical basis for what happened, I usually go with the logic rather than the serendipity. Let's move on to the bicycle, sir.
We needed to have our license tag number because we reported to Jill's insurance agency. They needed to have the license tag or some information of Patrice to do a follow-up case. Patrice's car disappears for a length of time. I go for a bike ride on January 20th, the morning. I see Patrice parking in
across the street.
A field adjacent to her house.
Listen to me. I don't want to hear an echo.
Okay.
She's parked in a field, catty corner to her home. I notice that she is running across the street to her door. I pedal down the road. I stop in the street. I said, Patrice, are you not paying for Jill's damages to the car? And Patrice stated, no, she will not pay for the damages.
Are those the words that we used?
At that time, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Then I went over to her car, which was in the field, called Jill at work.
Who owns the field?
It's Broward County public property.
Okay.
Went to the car, called Jill and gave her the auto tag. Patrice was coming back to her car. Then we had a little bit of an altercation.
Was the damage still on the car?
Yes.
Tell me about the altercation.
Basically, we argued about who's going to pay for the car and why she's denying.
What did you say to her, and what did she say to you?
I stated that I can't believe she's not paying for the car. To do such damage while living in the same neighborhood is ridiculous to me. Why would a neighbor act like this? And I told her she was a liar, and she got into her car.
What did she say to you?
I don't remember her exact words, Your Honor.
Did you call her any names?
I called her a liar.
Other than that?
I called her a B word.
Well, that's what I'm asking you.
Yes.
Well, you know, when I ask you what the altercation was, and if what you're going to give me is oatmeal, then I'm not going to believe you.
Well,
do you understand?
Right.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Greg Hardy and his girlfriend say their neighbor, 15-year-old Whitney Manley, sideswiped their car. Greg says, on a separate occasion, Whitney's mother, Patrice Manley, ran over his bicycle.
Did she say anything to you?
She made comments back to me. I don't really know what she said, to be honest.
Do you remember what you said to him?
When I came out from the house, he was on the back of the car on the phone. He had his dog with him, a bulldog this big, while he was on the bike. As he was talking, I did not say anything. As I went to the car, he started calling me a black, all these words. And I didn't say anything to him because I didn't get upset. I just didn't say nothing. I got in the car and I rolled down the window. He came next on the driver's side. He kicked the car door and he said, I messed with the wrong cracker. I then asked him, what is a cracker? He said, I'm going to get you. He proceeded with the dog, he hopped on the bike, and he proceeded to the street. As I'm driving off, he's in front of my car, would not let me pass. I went around him to not hit him or anything. I went around him. As I went around him, I don't know if the dog stopped or the bike stopped, whatever stopped, but his wheel was under my car because he was still trying to get in front of my car. And then as soon as that happened, when my back tire hit his back tire, he fell off the bike, and I stopped right there. I didn't move, left it as is. He said, I got you now. I got you now. So I didn't say anything. I said, no, I got a good Negro lawyer, is what I told him. So he then picked up the phone and called the police. I, as well, called the police. 2 police came out to the scene, as well as the paramedics.
Can I see the police report on that, please?
Yes. On the last page is...
Shh. Were you taken by ambulance from the scene?
Yes, I was.
At his request.
Shh. What difference does that make?
Because there was nothing wrong with them.
Well, how do I know that? I'd like to see the medical report. Is this your injury on your ankle?
Yes.
Looks like it got caught in the spokes of the bicycle.
The front crankshaft, yes.
So now I have a few questions for you, Mr. Hardy. Why did you pull out your bicycle at the same time that she was pulling out her car?
I was on the driver's side door when we were arguing.
Yes.
And then she had not yet started the car, or maybe she had just started the car. I have to go up the street. It's a dead-end road. I have to go forward. We're both have to go forward.
Well, I understand that, but
I
you
go
both,
first.
Listen to me,
Okay.
my friend. You don't have to go forward at the same time. You've just had an altercation with a woman who was in a car that weighs 3,000 pounds. It would seem to me prudent to hang back in the field that is the property of Broward County, play with your dog for 15 minutes while Miss Manley leaves. You've already gotten the information that you wanted, so there's no need to have any further interaction with her. Is that a fair statement?
That's correct.
Unless you wanted to bug her, which you might be able to do if you drove in front of her car with your dog at your side, so she would be going at 5 miles an hour instead of 25 miles an hour until she got to a place where she could turn off. Is that a possibility?
It is a possibility.
Right. So you could have avoided this whole part of the conflict if you just stayed back and played with, what's your dog's name?
Indy.
Indy. In the field for a couple of minutes. Why didn't you do that?
Well, I didn't expect her to run me over in a car, and I was going to the bike path, which is just right past the bushes, so I can get onto the next street. I was already in motion first. I did not expect her to hit me with a car. She came up from behind me after I was already riding down the street.
Well, Mr. Hardy, I don't buy it.
Okay.
The alternative was for her to stop her car and just wait for you to get to where you wanted to go. You could have done that, right? Said, listen, this guy is behaving like a big baby, and he's just trying to get my goat, and I'm going to turn off my car and wait 5 minutes for him to disappear. But you both got a little bit hot under the collar, and your bicycle went over, and the dog, according to you, pulled you over, and that's how you got hurt.
No, the dog pulled me to the right. The police officer stated that my bicycle was left in the middle of the street, and that is why they didn't deem her a ticket on the accident.
They sure didn't, according to the police officers. According to the police officer's report, police officer says, based upon the position...
Two police officers. It was two.
What word didn't you understand? Don't talk. It's not a tea party. Do I give you an opportunity to tell your side of the story?
But I didn't finish.
You may not have finished, madam, but I'm getting the information that I need. And so far, with regard to this aspect, you don't seem to be losing. With regard to whether your daughter hit Jill's car, you lost there. Because your daughter drove your car, didn't tell you, and hit her car. And if you believe her that she didn't do it, that's your problem. So you're going to pay for the damage to Jill's car. But Mr. Hardy's going to pay for his own stupidity and not waiting in the field with his dog until you took off. Because I think what he was trying to do was just annoy you. You understand that, Mr. Hardy?
Well, I don't understand.
You understand. I'm glad you understand. You may not agree with me. That's your prerogative. That's your prerogative. You don't have to agree with me. I'm not here. It's not American Idol. It's not a popularity contest. I listen to what, to me, is common sense. It is not common sense that your girlfriend's car was damaged on the same date as she had control of her mother's car. Her mother's car came up dented with a baloney story about hitting something in McDonald's that they didn't report to McDonald's. That doesn't make sense. And it doesn't make sense that you just happened to get in motion first and felt as if you had to leave the property first while this 3,000-pound car is following you. That doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, it's usually not true. Let me see an estimate for your car, Jill. Is your car fixed yet? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,173. That's all. Step out.
Matter of Buck versus Westfall. Probably has been sworn in. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat.
Mr. Buck, in what state do you reside, sir?
Oregon.
I assume it is legal in Oregon, in the state where you reside, for you to enter into a contract in order to provide you with medicinal marijuana.
Yes, ma'am.
Which you say you need because you are ill and you take it for medical reasons.
Yes, ma'am.
It is your claim that you entered into a contract with Mr. Westfall for him to provide you with marijuana, which was prescribed by your doctor for you, and that he breached that contract, did not provide you with the marijuana. You had given him a certain amount of money. Not only do you want that money back, but you want other non-specific damages because you say that because of his breach, you were not provided with the marijuana, you suffered physically as a result of that, and you want him to pay damages.
Yes, ma'am.
First of all, what's the nature of your illness, sir?
I'm paraplegic. I also have stress-related seizures, and I have extreme muscle spasms because of the paralysis.
And for how long have you been under doctor's care, part of which is the use of marijuana?
For a little over a year.
And how often are you supposed to use marijuana?
5 to 6 times a day.
Where did you meet Mr. Westfall?
I met him at a medical cannabis awards that was going on in Portland, Oregon.
When?
In the 22nd of November of last year.
And when did you enter into the agreement with him?
We signed the transfer papers on the 25th, and he started growing the garden for me on the 28th.
Can I see the papers that you signed? What is a transfer agreement?
Giving him the legal right to grow the medicine for me.
It's called a change request form, and what this is a form that illustrates or it tells people where the cannabis is going to be grown. It's going to be telling who the cannabis is growing it, and he signed this on the 7th of January. Legally,
just a minute,
I cannot grow any medicine until that's signed and given to DHS.
When did you terminate your relationship with him?
March 29th.
So approximately little less than 3 months.
Correct.
According to you, since he signed this agreement. Right? Now, he says he signed it in the end of November.
That's his signature.
Who filled this out? Here?
We filled in 2 of those request forms. The first one that we filled out, Your Honor, he was living at his mother's address, which is not the same address that was there. In January, on the 9th, we moved the garden from his mother's house into his new home that he just moved to.
Okay, the reason I'm asking you that question, Mr. Westfall, the reason I'm asking you that question, Mr. Westfall, is I read your answer very carefully, and your answer said that your agreement was that you would grow this marijuana for him between 4 and 6 months from the day you executed the agreement. And if I believed what you tell me, that this was the date that he signed the agreement, and you couldn't start growing until he signed the agreement, that was less than 3 months.
Correct.
So he is correct that you signed your original agreement sometime in November.
That's right, because we moved. We moved. I moved, and we had to fill out a new caregiver form for the new address. So he is correct.
There was another agreement other than this one.
Yes, he is correct.
Okay. So you started to give him money. How much money did you give him after you signed the original agreement?
$425 over a period of 4 months.
Is that correct, Mr. Westfall?
That's perjury, and that's a flagrant lie.
You just asked me yes or no. That's not correct. Show me a canceled check, sir.
He asked for cash. He didn't want anything in paper. These are the dates and the amounts I wrote in a journal as soon as he left my house. Every payment was made at my house. My wife was
How much did he give you, Mr. Westfall?
He gave me $50 a month plus $20 on top of that twice, and he said he gave me, my mother, $50 for her electricity.
Look at me. Look at me.
He gave her $50. He said he gave her $50 on the 4th of January. He paid the $70 plus the $70, and then another $50. $170 is what he paid.
That would be $190.
But I don't know if that other $50 is there.
That would be $190 so far. He says $420. Okay, and then what happened, Mr. Buck?
Come the 27th, I was supposed to have my medicine delivered to me on the 28th of March. On the 27th...
Just a second. Who said so?
The gardener, Gordon. He told me that my crop would be in. The first time it was February, then it was the 18th of March, then it went from the 18th to the 28th.
Of March?
Of March. Yes. Then come the 27th of March, I called his house to ask him what time he would be coming over on the 28th. He said that he needed another 2 weeks, which is over and over again the same excuse.
Okay.
So I asked him if I could please come out and see the garden, because after 5 months I had not been allowed to see it.
Wasn't 5 months.
4 months.
Right.
And so he refused to let me. And then that night, about 5.5 hours later, he brought this one plant over to me, and it was nothing like it was supposed to have been. He also brought me this paper to sign that was handwritten by him, suggesting that I asked him to bring the plants to me when I never did. I asked to see the garden. And also with that is a picture of the plant that he did bring me, and there's 2 pictures of a plant that should have been what it looked like at that stage.
Okay, so tell me what happened, Mr. Westfall.
What happens, like I said, we met.
Don't just tell me what happened with this plant.
What happened was...
You started to grow his marijuana sometime in late November, because that's when you signed the original agreement. Okay, now we're in March. We're at the end of March.
So we moved the plants into the new home, went through a shock. My daughter got sick because of the mold that was going through the air, so I had to move those plants into another space on the property.
Now, when did you communicate the fact that because of your own family problems, you had to move the marijuana plant?
Well, it wasn't because I had to move the plants.
Listen to me. When did you communicate?
The 28th. The
28th of what?
The 29th.
Of what month?
March 29th.
Well, when did you actually move the plants, Mr. Westfall?
The plants were already moved 2 months before that.
Just a minute. Did you tell him that you moved the plants that were supposed to be his went into shock?
That was, yes, but that was because of a light problem that we had, unforeseen light problem.
I don't care what your problems are, sir. Do you understand?
Yes.
I'm asking you when you communicated that fact to Mr. Buck. In March?
March.
Or in March? Well, that's wrong, Mr. Westfall.
No, I was in
That's wrong, Mr. Westfall.
Richard Buck Sr. says horticulturist Gordon Westfall didn't deliver his medical marijuana plants as promised.
If because of your own family problems, your daughter's problems, mold problems, whatever problems, you could not complete your contract in a timely fashion, it was your responsibility as a caregiver to advise Mr. Buck that he couldn't have his contracted for medicine because of your problems. You chose not to do that. That's not fair, sir.
But that isn't right. The reason why we had the delay was on the 29th. I called him and I said we had a lighting problem that put the plants back 4 to 6 weeks.
You had problems with it before. That's what you just told me. Don't try to dance around that.
Not for the flowering plants.
Not for the flowering plants. What are you growing, gardenias, sir?
There's three different stages of growth. There's the propagation stage where you clone and you grow for 21 days or so, and that will get your roots. After that, you grow for 3 months in the vegetative state, which allows it to get tall enough to be put into the flowering state, in which I have a video of the...
I'm not interested.
...of the plant.
You're fast-talking me, sir.
And when
You're fast-talking me.
You cannot have any light on those flowers for the 70 days that you flower them. And there was a lighting problem, and that's what was the problem.
Who caused the lighting problem?
There just was a the timer.
What do you mean? No?
The timer didn't go off.
Whose fault is that?
It's a timer, the manufacturer, obviously.
No, sir, that's your responsibility. You're supposed to be watching the store.
Every day I go in there.
Well, then it's your responsibility. Mr. Westfall, you do not deny that you had a verbal contract to provide these plants for him.
Correct.
I think that you're doing a lot of fast talking, sir. I don't know what you did with the plants. I don't know if you sold the marijuana to somebody who was paying you more money. I have the foggiest idea what you did. But you breached a verbal agreement to provide him with something that the state of Oregon says that he is permitted to have in order to ameliorate a physical condition. He contracted that you should provide for him, and I find that there is absolutely no excuse for you not providing for it in a timely fashion. Now, how long did it take you, sir, to get the medicinal marijuana that you need?
I haven't gotten any from Gordon at all.
Not from him.
I've had to ask for donations, and there's not always available, so I've had to do it.
You had to ask for donations, so you want your money back.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's all that you're going to get, sir, and I find that you gave him $425, although he says no, but you're certainly not going to get any other damages because you've been provided with it, even though you had to ask for it as a favor. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $425. That's all.
Thank you.
Why is our excuse to make stuff out?
$150, he's suing me for $400. He's a liar.
He told me he was doing this for the good karma in his soul, but then turned around to try to charge me over and over and over again for money and then lied about it himself.
He required and made me give him his plants after he yelled and called my pregnant wife names on the phone.
100% of the time it happens just before the medicine is to be delivered, and they're looking at all this money, and that's what the greed is usually what takes people.
I ended up cutting off my relationship with him. I gave him his plants, and that was it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Halsell versus Thompson. Step forward, please.
19-year-old marketing researcher Tracy Halsell is suing his former friend, 24-year-old hairstylist Antonio Thompson, for damages to his apartment. Antonio says Tracy slept with his girlfriend.
Mr. Halsell, the defendant used to be a friend of yours, and he was also your roommate. According to you, he moved in with you into your home. Is that right?
Correct.
And there was some sort of a falling out, and you claim that your house was burglarized and vandalized, some property destroyed, and you believe that the defendant is responsible for that. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
He says he had nothing to do with this burglary. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
When did he move in with you?
At the beginning of August, around the 13th.
And when did he move out?
Around October, the middle of October.
And when was your house vandalized?
Around the time that he moved out, because I never...
Well, give me the date, sir.
I don't know the exact date.
Well, you have to have the exact date, sir.
Because he came back to get his stuff. So the day that I put him out was like the 8th, because that was on the police report. But the day that he came back to get out his stuff was in between that day and the 15th.
Where's the police report?
The police report is in my luggage that I lost at the airport, along with some pictures.
What kind of damage was done to your apartment?
My TV, it seemed like that he just took a stick or a bat.
Don't tell me what he did. I asked you what kind of damage was done to the apartment.
My vases were destroyed that were given to me by my mother. Customized television was destroyed. Also a dining room table and a few holes in the wall that were fixed because I had insurance on the apartment.
Now, why do you think Mr. Thompson, when he moved out, would do such a thing?
The day that he was initially not planning on returning, I slept with his girlfriend, so.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How much damage did you suffer from Mr. Halsell?
Over $1,500.
See what happens when you allow your body to be ruled by something other than your brain, sir?
Yes.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tracy Halsell claims former friend Antonio Thompson trashed his apartment. Antonio says Tracy slept with his girlfriend.
He found you with his girlfriend? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
She's still your girlfriend?
Mm-mm.
What's her name?
Amy.
Who is this?
This is the neighbor. This is my neighbor. He saw Tony come in and out the house. And when Tony left the house, he went into the house to see the damage that was done to my property by Tony. So he called me on my cell phone, and then that's when I returned back to the home.
So when you made the police report, you told the police that you had a witness and that it was Mr. Thompson who had done the damage to the apartment?
Yes.
Step up here. Tell me your name.
Anthony Coleman.
Did you speak to the police?
Yes, I did.
When?
Like right after the incident when Mr. Halsell had returned to the apartment.
And did the police officer write down what you were saying?
Yes.
And you told him that you had seen Mr. Thompson?
Yes, coming in. He went in the house, and that's when I first saw him. And like when he left, that's when I went to the apartment and checked it out, and that's when all the property was damaged.
Did the police speak to you, Mr. Thompson?
No, ma'am.
That's odd.
He's lying.
That's very odd that the police didn't speak to you.
Right.
Once he gave me the description of what he had on and everything, because the police officer asked for a description of him, he was called later on that day. The police contacted me immediately and asked me what he looked like, if I can identify him. I told the police officer I could identify him. I went to District 1 police station, and it was him.
Yes?
I was never arrested. Not
Were you
for this.
taken into custody?
No.
So what you're telling me, Mr. Thompson, is that Mr. Halsell
Yes, ma'am.
never spoke to the police and gave them your description, and you were never taken into custody. You were never taken down to the precinct and at least spoken to by a police officer. That never happened. Is that what you're telling me?
They never contacted me.
They never contacted you at all with regard to this. That's what you're telling me. And if the plaintiff can produce at some point the documents from the police department indicating that you were in fact taken into custody, then that would mean you were lying. Is that right?
Correct.
And you understand that if you lie about one thing, I can conclude that you lie about everything. You understand that?
Correct.
Oh, then this is going to be an easy case for me. And it's your statement, Mr. Thompson, that you had absolutely nothing to do with the destruction that took place in his apartment.
No, not at all.
Now, when you went to retrieve your property, sir, I assume that he said to you, get your stuff out?
No, that's not how it went.
Well, how did it happen?
When I came home, him and my girlfriend were laying in the bed, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if he seen me, but I know she seen me because I walked out and then she tried to come out to reconcile and explain herself, whatever, and I just left it alone. I left my key to the apartment on the speaker, which was right next to the door. Then I didn't talk to him. Maybe like 2 or 3 days later, he called me to ask me what was going on and why hadn't I been home, whatever. Why did I leave my key there? And then I explained it to him. And
He called to ask you why you didn't come over.
Right.
The girl didn't come back and say...
I don't know what she did. She got in her car when I left.
You mean she jumped up out of bed naked and ran out into the street and jumped into her car?
When I left out the room, she jumped out of the bed with him and she grabbed her clothes right there and was trying to explain herself to me or whatever.
And you didn't speak to her at all when she got into her car?
I spoke to her for a second outside.
You know, and you said what?
I asked her what was going on. She was trying to tell me that it's just something that happened is what she tried to say. Well,
okay.
I just left it alone because she wasn't that important.
Okay, now what happened when you went back to your property? Was any property of his in the house destroyed?
No, when I went back the 3 days later or whatever, he had called me and I told him that I was going to come and get the rest of my things at his house, whatever. So when I went over there, he was there because I gave him my key and he let me in. And I got all of my things out of there and I left.
And you never went back?
Me and him.
So this gentleman is mistaken when he says that you went back there afterwards. He's mistaken.
Right.
And you did speak to the police?
Yes, I did.
And gave them your name?
Yes.
And they wrote down what you said?
Yes.
How much damage did you suffer from Mr. Halsell?
Over $1,500 in damaging.
Okay, see what happens when you allow your body to be ruled by something other than your brain, sir?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is what we're going to do, Mr. Halsell. I am provisionally granting you a judgment in the amount of $1,500 on condition that the court receive within 5 days photographs of the damage as well as the police report indicating prompt outcry on the specific date that you indicated, and the fact that Mr. Thompson was in fact taken into the police station and questioned with regard to this incident. Is that fair, Mr. Thompson?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. That's the judgment of the court. Get me the documents. Thank you, Mr. Halsell. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. Step out.